All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here tonight. We're at Kentucky. That's right, home of the Kentucky Derby, so to speak. But we're not horse racing tonight, unless you want to consider horsepower. And we got plenty of it here because we're at the Monday Night Thunder series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. That's right, Kentucky Oval, Sparta, USA, nighttime racing with truck action. Joe White up here in the booth. Company as always with John T. Wimmis. John, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Joe. Looking forward to this race. This is another track that I really like running at, like watching races at. You know, lots of things can happen here. 3 and 4 is going to be very tricky, so we'll see how that works out tonight.
Yeah, it is. Tire wear plays a factor here also, as you know, you eat that right front up here. If you don't know how to manage the brake and manage your tires, and obviously throttle control too. But it is a good track. I like Kentucky. Actually, it was my first win. I think we mentioned that before at iRacing. So I really enjoy this track.
It's one of those good ones, man. It's you know, tire wear plays a big factor here. Obviously, see how that goes. But the trickiest part of this track to me is 3 and 4 when you're entering side by side.
Yeah,
and that's where you're going to see a lot of problems. The guy up on the outside, you know, has to try to take his angle in. The guy on the inside doesn't get down enough, and you see a little contact. And I expect we'll see that a couple times tonight.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right, because it is tricky. We saw Ryan W. Daniels out there doing his qualifying lap now. He said he was struggling a little bit here. You know, the track it can be a tricky one, and like I say, even though I like it, I've got many laps and races here, so it took me that long to finally figure out how to get around it. But it's a tricky track because you like I said, you can have a very fast lap and then get out here in the race and actually lose it very quickly, because tire wear does come into play over the course of a race.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge factor here, and you know, it's not that easy, I don't think, at this track to take care of your tires. For some reason, I just don't So, you really have to back it down. You've got to be extremely careful, and then you got to hope that the guys around you are going to be careful as well, taking that into consideration. When they approach you and try to pass you, it's a very tight corners here, very tight on exit, coming off of 2 there. So you kind of have to make a decision. Sometimes I got to go and drive a little bit harder. You don't want to, and then you can kind of back it down and take care of your stuff. But it's a fine line at this track for me, I think.
Yeah, and you're right. When you talk about back up the corners, and that's probably why I kind of like it here, because you do have to back those corners up to save the tires a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of Michigan after a while, because some guys that we'll see still stay on the low line of 1 and 2, but after a while you really should move up at least 1 lane. And in Michigan there's a black line there up 1 lane. And usually everybody tells you keep the left side tires on that black line going around there. If you go below it, you can get very loose. You go above it too far, you get very tight. So it's kind of that little fine line, so to speak.
Yeah, it's exactly the same way here. And you'll see that as the race wears on, you get a little wear on the tires. The inside line is not where you want to be, especially coming off of 2. You have to wait to get back on that throttle. You get very loose coming off of 3. You can get sideways there. The high side's going to be the preferred line there. So it'll make for some interesting racing, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, we're under the lights here in Kentucky, folks. Want to welcome everybody out there. Chris, Tim, got all the guys out there. Man, our Waylon's out there. Saw him out there in the chat, chit-chatting it up a little bit. Well, we got a good field here. We got, I'm going to say it's 32 or 33. It's either one or the other. Bad fast machine. I'm showing 34, but I think Michael Redding's out there, so actually we'll drop 1. 33. Now, if it stays 33, we know one driver won't make the field because they're going to cap it at 32. So that kind of makes it interesting in qualifying.
Yeah, it definitely would. We'll see. Obviously, we've got a long way to go here, and somebody may decide that their internet doesn't want to work and they can't come back or something. So who knows, man? But it's nice to see old Waylon Boo Lamb back out here again.
That's right.
Here in the chat and getting back on the racetrack where he belongs. So.
Yeah, I know he said he had to work tomorrow, so I don't know how well it's going to work for him because he might have to work late. But we got 150 laps here in Kentucky tonight. Tim out there, man, as always. I meant to call Tim the mascot here to OSR, man. That cat don't miss a race, I tell you. Talk about dedication. It's just like old Eric Test, man, Iceman from the Neverlands there. That's definitely some dedication on his part also.
Yeah, I think he's about 6 hours ahead of us now, so it makes for a very long, late night, early morning for him running these races over here.
Okay. Well, Waylon said he's gifting the spot. Okay. What are you, Santa Claus now?
Oh, I think he's got some kind of issue with his, he says it's his computer. I believe it's his, I think he's lost his gusto.
I think he's just got issues.
I think so.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody that gets called Boo on a constant basis.
Yeah, well, hopefully his girlfriend will jump out here eventually. We'll hear Waylon Boo Lamb. Well, here we go. There's Tommy Haynes. And
last night's winner.
Yeah, last night he pulled that thing off in an awesome fashion last night. And I do like that truck he's driving. That's a very nice paint job.
That is actually a real deal.
Oh, okay. Well, that nice color scheme and all he's got on it too. I love it, man. I can't get a shot of what's on it, but
it's Main Performance PC is what it is.
Oh, oh yeah, man. Them boys, man. Oh, them some bad cats now.
Yeah, they make a lot of good stuff.
Absolutely.
And they do everything from rigs and.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they sell the Abuto and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
What's up, Eric? We got Eric Tesh out there. You ain't on the track yet, man. Don't be texting and driving now. Yeah, but I like the color scheme that truck had. It was a really nice color scheme. It was a paint job. Now, I don't know, would he have that made or is he pulled it off Trade Paints?
It's one that I think he had made. He's had so many made. I believe he did.
Right.
But he's been in talks with those people over there for some things and whatnot, and they were just like, heck yeah. So there you go.
Talk to him, man. Oh, hey, look, y'all want to be on the broadcast? That's what I need to do, man. Start talking to people. I don't talk to enough people. I don't know. Sometimes it's probably just better just to be quiet. Speaking of last night's race, though, there was a good race. It really was. Auto Club, K&N cars, an exciting finish there. Exciting race throughout and all. Jared Beasley, that guy, man, it's going to pull the win off before it's over with. Just seems like every time he turns around, he has bad luck. Man, obviously, the one. He dominated that race, ran out of gas 2 laps ago. He took the victory. Last night, dominated most of that race. Got run down one time. He still dominated. Then got caught up in an incident and just couldn't recoup from that. And like you said, Tommy Haynes, boy, there at the end, showed up when he needed to and just walked away from the field, took that win last night.
Yeah, he did a great job. Talked to him after the race. Obviously, a buddy of mine living up the street here, we talk every day, and a little strategy played on his part there worked out. We stayed out, had that caution come out right when everybody's taking green flag pit stops, so that kind of worked out. And I got caught up in a wreck. Tommy got up front and got the win, so I was happy to see that. And I'm glad he got a good run there. Had a bunch of other guys have a good run last night as well. I know Craig Lerman was up front running well. So it was a good show last night. Just because I had a bad race doesn't mean it wasn't a good one, because it was for a lot of guys.
And absolutely. You're talking about the race too. Old David Heisel was out in the chat. He was rooting on Craig Lerman last night, and it looked good for him to be up front like he was. So I like that. It's always good, man, to see new guys out there doing well, like you said. And unfortunately, like you said, you got caught up in an incident. It's a racing, and it's going to happen. But all in all, you still got another shot. You got road racing coming up this week. ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Watkins Glen this Thursday.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. All this practice time I've put in, and then I go get myself wrapped up in a Rift here, so it's going to be different. I'm going to have to practice more and figure out if I'm going to run that or not.
Definitely a different world when you run one of them things. I've never done it because, well, one, I don't think with me and my Disney things that would work out too well.
I tell you what, man, the Oculus Rift, they just knocked it out of the park on that deal. I had somebody message me today, and they were like, "You're not going to believe the deal." And I was like, man, I got to figure this out. Get online, looked at all the stuff, went to Best Buy, drove an hour up to Roanoke, Virginia here, and picked it up. Got it home, had it set up within 40 minutes or so. Gave it a shot. It's the most realistic thing. It's unreal.
Oh, yeah. I've heard people
you really feel like you're in the car. You can see so much better, see to your left and right, and looking behind you. It's just your field of view, your depth perception, everything else is just so much better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard some guys talk about it. Got some guys roadside, man. It's got some that love it and enjoy that stuff, man. It looks neat. I've seen some videos on it and all. Like I say, I just don't know if my head would take it, man. I'd be like, I could see me turn right out the darn chair.
It's not that bad. I wanted to test it out a little bit, so I kind of wrecked myself a couple times.
Bad when you had brain surgery and got vertigo.
Yeah. Well, you got a pretty good reason. I got a good reason for it not bothering me with hanging out the back of helicopters and things like that. So I didn't think it'd be that bad, but it's really not, man. It's just like in real life. I mean, it's really cool. I really enjoy it, man.
I've seen it,
it's a great
and
thing.
It looks awesome. I mean, I'm like you, man. It does look awesome.
It's not uncomfortable either. People think that when I would look at it, I'd be like, man, how can that be comfortable with me? You think it's heavy? It's really not heavy. You can barely tell it's on your face. It's not too tight. There's all these adjustments. It's unreal. It's just super comfortable.
I like the. I don't know if you've seen the meme with the Oculus. It said back when we were growing up, don't sit too close to the TV. You're going blind. And then they have the Oculus on it. And it's like nowadays it's like It's I thought about it. I went,
well, the good thing is it's not so bright.
Yeah.
I mean it's bright enough, obviously, but it's not like TV bright. Doesn't hurt your eyes or anything. I didn't feel dizzy or weird wearing it. I literally felt like I was sitting down in in a race car. It looks so realistic. I felt like I could reach down and actually grab the gear shift and change gears. And you see the window net flapping in the wind, man. You just, it really trips you out, man. You really think you're sitting in a daggone race car.
That's cool, man. I like that. Like I said, I've seen a lot of videos on it. I'd like to try one out one day, man. If I had it near where I was at, I'd like to try one just to see what the field is. Like I say, I've seen them, man. Heard guys.
I think the Oculus website, if you go there, they got something there you can figure out where people are, where you can try them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so now that I've done this whole plug for them, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I expect a check any day now.
Well, I'll just take one of your products, and that way I can turn around and sell it. How's that? So that'll work my end.
Well, here's the thing about it, too. The deal that they have right now is so cool because if you race and say you have kids or you have a wife that's or girlfriend that's childlike and they want to play games, the deal is now you get the headset and you get the touch controls.
Oh, okay, cool.
That normally comes separate, so you get the whole shebang, everything for $3.99.
Yeah, I think I saw that deal out there. It looks really good. That is cool. And if you're a racer or first person type person, definitely check it out, man. Oculus Rift, man. It's something. I've had some friends of mine. They've run them. Obviously, I got some guys who do roadside stuff with it. They enjoy it. It's a different world.
And then it's so cool to watch other people go because there's a free thing on there. It's called Face Your Fears.
Oh, yeah.
And so I put my wife and my 13-year-old daughter on it and made them wear it, and they would go through all this stuff. And it's like things are coming out of the blue and hitting them in the face, and it was just super scary, man. But they were jumping and screaming, and should have recorded it.
There you go. You didn't do that one day. Put that thing on the podcast, record that mug. That'd be awesome.
It was so awesome.
Well, Ben John, just been talking about some racing-oriented stuff here. Qualifying is amongst us here. We got quite a few ways to go. We're only like 15 of about 33 drivers, 32 out here tonight running. So right now, Pacer Popham. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name.
Popham.
Popham. All right, Popham.
Yeah.
All right, Pacer Popham. There we go. Man's gonna be popping around the track. So I hope you don't pop nobody in the rear and wreck them, but we'll be all right. But he's sitting on the point right now. And we see old Blake Neese is back out there. Is he back out there? Oh, that's Blake Villon, my bad. Yeah. I thought I saw Blake Neese back out there. I haven't seen him in a while. Must be still doing school stuff.
I hadn't talked to him in a while. I have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good qualifying here because we're at Kentucky Motor Speedway here is what I'm going to say. Under the lights for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. This is the truck series here, folks. And premier series here in the league. These guys, man, do a phenomenal job. And the trucks out here running around. Should be a good race. Big field, big drivers. Not so much of a big track, kind of a medium-sized track. I want to appreciate everybody in the chat, man, tuning in here tonight. Like I say, during qualifying, me and John just let y'all look at the sights and sounds, listen to it, and we'll just sit up here and talk about the Speedway, talk about things going on in the sim world here, and we got 150 laps though after that. We're going to get to business here as usual on the track. So, got anything out in the chat, man, that interests you, sim-wise or league-wise? Say, let us know. You got a driver out there, man, you want us to speak of? Let us know that too. If you got a driver you don't like, well, let us know that too.
I would prefer that first. I would like to know if you don't like somebody.
John always wants the controversial side of things. Me, I really don't care. Just tell me something.
I like for things to be interesting, not boring, you know.
And if you're not interested in anything here, then you are boring.
Well, you gotta spice things up every once in a while. You know? It's like a stale relationship.
Did you listen to last night's race? Okay, then. No, say it.
I went back today.
No, say it.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Oh, and I'm guessing somebody somewhere mentioned my deal with Terry Mason when we wrecked. Because I heard you say something about that.
Yeah, they did. Somebody, I forgot who it was in the chat said that y'all had history in the past, and I said, well, that didn't look like it. I said it just looked like y'all went 3 wide, and that track is really harsh there anyways. If we go 3 wide, the cars can get tight. Now to say, looks like when a racing deals, I don't think anything there, you know.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
But
I heard that, and I was like, oh, because Terry did come over to the race chat and immediately apologized. I didn't hear it, and I talked to him after the race, and I only bring it up because I like for things to be cleared up, because, you know, some people saw, you know, me go after him in the All-Star race.
Well, and here's what I tried to...
There was somebody made a very abrupt move to his inside, and he tried to adjust for that, and that's all. It was just a racing incident there, so he's been super cool, man, to talk to and everything ever since our deal. You know, you think that you kind of carry it with you and whatever, but he's been awesome about it, man. We joke about it, and everything's great.
Well, and also...
The words of Kyle Busch. Everything's great.
Everything's great, yeah. Get an M&M while you're at it. I mean, just to reiterate on that, too, damn lie, I lost the train of thought. I'm going to end up making me say bad
words. Just sit around there, you'll catch the next one.
I will. Ain't that crazy, man? That's what happened. I mean, it tells you that the competition, but yeah, people see a different perspective. That's what I say. When you're a driver, and that's why I love having drivers up here in the booth with me, to understand what I see and what the viewers see on the track at certain angles and at certain times, it's a lot of different perspective than what y'all see on the track. And sometimes it's good that what we see, sometimes it's bad. And sometimes the way it's perceived to us and y'all could be good or bad also. You know, like you said, sometimes when we see it, it might just be like, well, it's one of them racing deals, and in return, it could be something bad. Or vice versa. It could be like, well, dog, that looks like a racing deal, but in real life, the guy was trying to, you know, wipe out half the field. But who knows? That's what I'm saying. It's just a different perspective that we see. Hey, we're here to bring the excitement. That's what we do here. So, and we want to welcome old John Nedlinger. I don't know if you know him or not there, John.
Yeah.
But, okay, cool. Yeah, he raced over in Extreme for a while. I believe he did, and he raced here also, I think, for a little bit.
We're Facebook friends.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook with him. I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah.
There's
Me and
Ryan
my
W.
Facebook
Daniels.
friends.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of them.
Yeah. I got so many Facebook friends, it's ridiculous. You know how many people I call if I really need something? 2.
Yeah.
Who are all these people?
Yeah.
What do I need
don't
them
know.
for?
Yeah, I don't really call anybody either. So,
I don't know.
I
don't know what that says about our society today, but that's another discussion for another time.
Yeah,
we should do a podcast where
that's
it's just like,
yeah,
we're like old men. We just complain about the times today.
that definitely. If you wanted to hear something interesting, I can tell you some stories now. I mean, obviously, because I'm old, you know, so yeah. And believe me, if you want a different perspective of what life was back then, there was no internet or cell phones. It was 3 channels, folks, and that was it. So there, kind of give you an idea of the day and age that I came from.
Yeah, we have. What is Al Gore created the internet?
yeah, that's right.
That and global warming.
yeah. Global warming, good.
And the lockbox. And talk about old times and days when you used to have money in your pocket. You just bought stupid stuff, you know?
Yeah, well.
Walk around with $1,000 in your pocket. Next thing you know, you're buying a snake bite repair kit, and you tell your friends, hey, don't you even worry about snakes anymore. I got this.
There you go. Just forget about it. You could also, man, find an Indian somewhere, and they'd get rid of them. And if we have any Indians out in the chat, I don't mean nothing by it, but I guess if y'all got a flute or something and want to play to some Cobras, go for it.
Hey, so somebody ran out of gas at the end of the race last night, didn't they?
Yes, Bradley P. Wilson. And I didn't know that because he was out front leading at the time. I was doing very good in the 88 machine. And it just had, I thought he missed a shift or something happened to the car because all of a sudden I just saw it dive off to the apron and head into the pits. I didn't know until after the race that he actually ran out of gas. Yeah. And that's what I was telling you before. Different perspective we don't know up here in the booth, obviously. So
well, it's because you can't tell in the car. I mean, the iRacing has a basically a calculator, but that calculator's not that perfect.
Yeah.
So you may think you've got more and you don't, or it'll tell you like 5 laps, you got 5 laps to go, and it's like, oh, you got 6 laps of gas left, and you're like, all right, I'm good. Well, next thing you know, you're down to nothing. So calculating is a little off, and that doesn't help you, but it helps if you have a big old red light to pop up in front of your face and be like, hey man, you're running on empty
out,
here. Yeah, that kind of helps you out there.
I gotta ask this question. Ryan out there in the chat, he changed his name from Iceman Motorsports. I guess we'll make that note for him, to Hurricane Motorsports. Yeah,
because they were that popular and famous to begin with. They needed a name change.
Hold on, man. Now, I'm not bashing on them. Hold on. Now, chill out. We're not up here to do all that. And that's cool they changed the name, but I noticed something he read there, because Matthew was in box with him. So, are y'all sticking with Jaeger Racing, or are you all into Hurricane Motorsports? Because I noticed he put Hurricane Motorsports / Jaeger Racing drivers. So are you all associating yourself with Hurricane Motorsports, or is Matthew Wassenbach still associating as Jaeger Racing? That's what I want to clear up. Man.
Well, I know we better get to the bottom of this one because it's driving me insane.
Yeah, because, I see Matthew up there with them, and I know Matthew's a good guy, and everybody's known. Actually, it is funny, we're here at Kentucky, so it's a good story to tell. This right here was a week prior to when I actually started iRacing, because I've been on iRacing now I've been on it for a little longer. I just didn't take it seriously, but I'm going to say a year, really, and I met Matthew Wassenbach, and he saw me come up to my Class C and get my first win here at Kentucky. I obviously saw him running over to ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and I was looking for a league. Joined up, so he's kind of one of the main reasons I found that league, and I've just known him ever since. Saw him on Twitch one day and watched him. I said, man, that's cool, man, what he's doing. And the rest is kind of history from there. So it's been kind of cool. Really nice guy, man. Like Matthew. He was an admin over there at Extreme. And so just some great guys. So here we go. We got our answer. We are 2 separate teams. But Jaeger is like Penske and Hurricane is like the Wood brothers. So in other words, Jaeger's the better of the team, and Hurricane is kind of just like coming along somewhere. Gotcha. All right. I had to put that part.
So Hurricane has the moves like Jaeger?
Yeah, there we go. Well, as long as they ain't drinking Jaeger and in a Hurricane, we're all right.
If you're drinking Hurricane, something's wrong with you in the first place.
Well, yeah, you a bad dude if you're doing that. That's all I got to say.
It's like somebody said, what do we do with this old antifreeze? We'll put it in a can.
Yeah.
We'll call it Hurricane.
Hurricane coolers. But anyways, I gotta give them credit. We'll see. Hopefully they did good tonight. Let's see if any of their drivers out here qualified. Ryan has. Matthew has. Aiden Young is one of the drivers out there. Look for him. I know Matthew Skipper is out there. Now he is subbing for Tyler Justice, who is not in the field tonight. But he will be doing, they have like 3 races that you can sub for a driver, so you can still get the points, obviously, for points and whatnot. And so he's driving tonight for him. And right, I tell you, whatever. So let's see, who else has he got up there? Justin Richter, which he really didn't say who he was with. So yeah, Aiden right there, Matthew and them's out, and Matthew is sitting right now 19th on the chart. Ryan is sitting 23rd. Aiden's sitting 8th, and we know Aiden, man, very well, John. That kid, we know he can wheel these trucks around this track.
Yeah, Aiden's been doing a great job. Kind of started out the first of the season there, feast or famine for him, but he's worked his way around, always patient, working his way up to the front there, and he's had a great season. A couple of good runs, I know, over at Extreme, then a couple good runs here. Just had a great season so far. Around summertime is when he's really turned it up here. It seems like.
Yes.
Really learned a lot and applying it, and been a little bit more patient in times, and it's paying off for him.
Absolutely. You're right. Well, I've seen him do great things over at Extreme Motorsports and the truck series there. He's ran for actually a title back-to-back and just come up a little short each time. You know, they got a chase format there and whatnot, and just come up, when I say short, I mean within like 5 and 10 points short. So definitely been in the hunt every time they come around there. So definitely got some cheering crowds going on for drivers. One for old Andrew, the other one's for old Bradley out there. So I got a lot of good drivers. Old Pacers, he's keeping the pace up there so far on the top of the charts. Eric Tetz, though, our Iceman there, he's able to put it second right now. So we'll have to see, man, if old Pacer can hang on to that pole.
Yeah, he had ran a 30.704 in practice. Turned that up to a 571 for qualifying here. So got some fast trucks coming up here, but like Mike Bruno, Spence Thompson, guys that maybe I'll knock him off that point there, but I believe it's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about them, they should be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're on Davis Richards right now, and he, looking at it, he was 7th in practice, so we'll have 6 trucks left here to qualify.
Absolutely. A nice looking truck he's got out there right now. Watching his lap, he's currently 10th fastest here in qualifying. So
yeah, Davis has
John
real sponsors.
Nedlinger. Yeah, I remember John Nedlinger. What's going on, man?
Davis' truck, he's got Birdie's Construction and the Hub, the Sim Racing giveaways on Facebook. So he's got 2 real sponsors there.
Awesome. And and it's good to see, man, real sponsors coming out here, getting more involved. I know me and you have talked about that numerous times. Just, a massive amount of times, basically. And you've got an awesome website, simracingsponsors.com. Is that right? Is that how I said it?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know you've got an awesome one there. Obviously, everybody can check mine out here at OSR Network, which is onlinesimracingnetwork.com. And it's good to see, man, real sponsors, real things out here growing for the sim community, man. Me and you, John, there's no need for us to sit here and talk about it because we've talked about it a million times. And really, I'm gonna say sport, but the hobby, the game, whatever you want to call it, sim is growing, and it's good to see, and it pretty much just speaks for itself at this point. If you watch week in and week out, like we do have several viewers that do here, and I appreciate each and every one of them coming out week in and week out watching. If you see it, they see the growth here.
And it's just growing more and more as we get other leagues involved, more broadcast going on. iRacing did their little deal with Ty Majeski in Iowa, sponsoring the car, and they got a lot of airtime, obviously, because Ty did very well. I think represented the brand very well out there in practice and qualifying and in the race. So just getting the word out there, and it's just got nowhere to go but up with everything that they do here and the improvements that they make.
Well, you want to talk about what's going on with Robert Boyer out there from Racing Freaks Sim Racing League. Check them boys out. Got them on the iRacing portal, man. And awesome. The guys are a happy bunch over there. But you spoke of the Ty Majeski thing. It was awesome to see him finally hit up in the upper leagues of NASCAR. But a lot of people did not know that iRacing sponsors his K&N ARCA car and has been. For years. So it's not a new thing for him to have them as a sponsor and the exposure that they get. Obviously, they're one of the primary sponsors for NASCAR. NASCAR does for them. Along with the lucrative thing that they've done with the World of Outlaw. So there's a World of Outlaw car out there that runs with iracing.com on it. So if anybody questions the fact that iRacing is not getting their marketing dollars or exposure, then you're not paying attention, basically, in a nutshell, because iRacing is out there. I've got guys on the Xbox One that I play with, and they ask me what I do on YouTube, and I tell them, and I just said, these guys don't even race. They don't even know nothing about it. I mean, they put Call of Duty, okay, that's what they're playing. And I said iracing.com. You ever heard of it? Yeah, I've heard of that. Okay, if they know what it is, then it's getting out there to people. It's good to see the growing with the sponsors and the drivers and the real companies and stuff being involved in here. And plus, iRacing's working on new content. I know we can sit up here and say, "Oh man, what in the world's taking them so long?" This and that. Hey, it's if
I'd rather you take your time and get it right.
That way, and also too to reiterate on that is I always tell person, if you think you can do better, fire up the PC and go right ahead. You know what I mean? Because it's not that easy. It is not that easy. I'll tell you.
Yeah, they've been getting the word out, sponsorships, things like that. Now they're affiliated with like Casey Kane on dirt, and they've got Lanigan and those guys over there at there's Clint Boyer Racing, and on the late model. So they've been out there, hitting, maybe what some might call smaller markets. It's a pretty large scale operation that they have when it comes to marketing, but when you hit the national, media like that, as they did in the Xfinity race, obviously that's a huge boost for you. So, and obviously the goal is subscribers. That's what they want. It's cool for us to have people come in and watch the races and all that, but they're a business and they're looking to grow it, and the only way they can do that is by subscribers. And so that's what they're looking for. So they spend their dollars wisely, I think. I think they've done a great job with it, and have a great thing going here. And there's nowhere to go but up, man, because you can tweak on this stuff all the time, change things as NASCAR changes their rules. I don't know much about road racing, so I don't want to talk about that because it bores me. But there's a lot that gets involved with that. I know guys love it, and that's great. If that's your niche, that's for you. But there's a lot that goes into that in those cars as well. So there's always something they can improve upon, and they do it. They do as good a job as they can with the people they have, and I'm very happy with it. I like racing on here, and I think they do a great job. And I was glad to see Ty get out there and represent the brand very well and get a lot of TV time.
And absolutely, and just to kind of add on to that, is iRacing perfect? No. Is any sim or anything out there that deals with a network and online and all that perfect? No. But they are trying, and I know I've been frustrated at times with things that have went on, and sitting here, I play video games on the Xbox One and all. Believe me, I get frustrated with things that happen. It's going to, but like what you just said, hey, it's to me, for the online feel and realism of what they have, it's the best thing that we have got out here to date. And as far as an oval side, like you mentioned, roadside, they got a lot more competition on the roadside from some other manufacturers and whatnot. They still, though, when it comes to sponsorship or when it comes to online, they still hold that. And I think we got our man down here that is taking the pole for the night. Pacer, Popham. I hope up, that's Joe? Well, first off, is that how you say your last name?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. Good job, John. We just wanted to make sure. I have always asked, because sometimes I have a bad thing with names, but you're the man who put it on a pole here tonight at Kentucky. How's that track feeling? How's it feel for you?
Felt pretty good. I kind of surprised myself with that lap. I've never been that fast here, so truck feels good. It's just good to be out here racing with these guys, so happy. Hopefully I can keep it up front all night and bring it home in victory lane.
Oh, absolutely. Well, what's kind of game plan line that you kind of use around this track?
Come again?
What kind of like a game plan as far as like me and John was talking, we see a lot of guys use the inside 1 and 2, maybe up in there. What do you feel, maybe middle high or low line around this track?
For qualifying, you really got to dive it in, going high to low through 1, come out on the bottom of 2, and kind of roll through 3 and 4 and keep your speed up to come through the front stretch and finish up the lap.
Well, good deal. I'll tell you what, you definitely did a fast job out there tonight in that machine that you got around here, and wish you the luck. 150 hard laps here at Kentucky. Good luck out there, Pacer.
Yep, hope I get to talk to you again.
All righty, sounds good. All right, got him moved up there. I'll tell you what, John, we're getting set here to go green flag racing 150 laps. And I hope everyone enjoys me and John up here talking. That's what we do. We just make this thing fun. And you're right, Robert, R Factor 2, probably one of the most realistic road sims there is as far as physics goes. The problem is they're online. I've always said it. You take the physics of R Factor 2, bring them over here to iRacing with the online, man, you'd have the ultimate sim in the world. But that's just me. And we're about to kick this thing off. 150 laps here at Kentucky under the lights. Monday Night Thunder series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Well, John, we heard what Pacer had to say. He definitely knows something because he got that thing around in a bad, fast time.
Yeah, he did unbelievable there to keep that thing up there like he did. So it was just a good run for him. I know we'll get a full field run down here, but it's nice to see him up there. I know he's kind of new to the league here, so he's had a pretty decent night last night, I believe, and it was running pretty well. I'm not sure, I forget where he finished, but great to see him have a good run here, another good qualifying job, and look for him to stay up front. I mean, he ran great times in practice, and obviously the qualifying time was pretty unbelievable, so I look for him to stay up there, but he's going to have some stiff competition up there.
Yes, he is. Stiff competition in the tune of old Mike Bruno, Spence Thompson, Ryan Broderick right there, and Eric Tess, just to name a few of all 34, 33, almost actually 32, excuse me, because two of them, well, my bad, 31 drivers out there, because 3 of them won't grid up here tonight. So 31 bad, fast drivers in the bad, fast trucks around a bad, fast Kentucky Speedway here. I'm going to say home of the area of the Kentucky Derby. Like I said at the beginning, we're not horse racing, but we definitely got a lot of horsepower here as 31 of these mean machines fire off in that turn number 1. It's going to be like a thunderstorm, man, happening as they go side by side.
Yeah, it ought to be a great race. Definitely going to see some cautions. I hate to be that guy. No, I don't. But we're definitely going to see some cautions at this track.
Well, and you're right.
You can't help it here. It's a very, very tight quarters here.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. It's at some point, everybody's going to be going for the same lane, and you're either going to have the patience to just wait and see if the guy in front of you messes up or overuses his tires or the truck that he has, or you just try to be aggressive and make that move. And 9 times out of 10, when you do that, that's where you end up with a wreck. The truck is either going to lose it on you, push on you, might send you up into the wall. With this many trucks, if an accident happens up front, not very much a self-cleaning track, as you will hear me and John say that for different venues. So you don't really, you don't come back up the track, you really don't go down the track. You kind of can stay right in the middle a little bit, depending on where you hit it at. And that can be disastrous, let's say, if you're the leader or the top 3 and have a wreck.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to see a great show. We know these guys, sometimes very patient, sometimes they're not. Restarts, start of the race, they kind of want to make up all the spots you can, and you can do that here with the tires that you have. And then we always know they turn the wick up at the end here and put on a great race. And speaking of great races, real quick, I know you touched on Robert Moyer being out here, and I just wanted to say that Saturday was a lot of fun with that race, wasn't it? The guys that he's got in that league now, and it's growing. And they added drivers. And they didn't just add drivers. They added guys who know how to drive and they know what they're doing. And it was unbelievable to watch. So if you're free Saturday nights, people, check them out because that was a lot of fun.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you there. Definitely was, and we'll be back. Actually, we got Kentucky there this week. So we're getting set here to grid up. And a man on pole tonight, Pacer Popham. It says 112 on my screen, so it must be somebody else with the same name. If there is, that's awesome. 2 of them out there. Puts it on pole tonight. Ryan Broderick right there in second. Spence Thompson, the champ here in the Truck Series last season. Sitting in third. Mike T. Bruno right in fourth. Eric Tess, the Iceman for the Neverland, starting fifth. Jason Alexander in sixth. Jason Bergeston seventh. DJ Hargrove, that man's starting to turn the season around slowly but surely, starting in eighth. Tommy Haynes, there you go. Man out there starting ninth. Chris Akers rounds out the top 10. As we look through the rest of this field, I always say it's star-studded. We got 31 bad, fast guys here and some bad, fast trucks. Round about to do some bad, fast racing here tonight. Kentucky Speedway. John, what you thinking we're going to see here with 31 of these awesome drivers?
I think we're going to see some guys just right out of the gate take care of their stuff. As we've said, tires are a premium here. But we're going to see some guys make up, some spots. I look for guys like Robbie Buckner, Matt Walzenbach, Terry Mason to make up some spots here. Try to, get up towards the top 15, top 12. They're starting back here in the 20s. So, qualifying here, not the end of the world, man. You can work your way up through there. Catch a caution, put some new tires on it. Anything can happen here. So, look for some of those guys to come up to the front there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. As these guys are going to look to put it to the wind here for 150 laps around Kentucky Speedway under the lights here. And absolutely, Robert, any time, my man. I tell you what, y'all do some amazing things over there in the Racing Freak Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. And here we go. Pace cars bringing all these monster trucks out. It's what I like calling them. I'm going to start this race off right here tonight, folks, as 31 of these bad, fast machines going to look good under the lights of Kentucky. They're going to do battle here, and battle they will for 150 laps around this place. It can be a tricky track. You're going to have to be, I'm going to say more of I haven't used this term in a while, driver's track.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. Like I said, here in the beginning, fresh tires, you feel like superhero, man. That thing will go wherever. You can be super aggressive. The inside lane, you can make up a lot of time on guys that are on the outside, make some passes there, but once the tires wear out, you got to start taking care of it. And we'll see how it works out here as we're getting ready to take the green.
Absolutely, about the green flag's about to fly here. And going to set sail and send these guys a rolling. That pace car is always going to take a hard left turn off on pit road. As it's coming out of turn 4, it's kind of a sweeping style turn here. It doesn't really straighten out the whole entire straightaway. Pace car's in. Here we go. Man up front, Pacer. He's going to pace them to the line very slowly. Green flag in the air. We're going to head off the round for lap number 1, and a lot of horsepower just whistled past the start-finish lines. They head off into turn 1. They're side by side. He gets a good jump up front. Ryan Broderick, though, is going to try that high line and see if he can't make it work. But they're still stacked 2-2 as they come out of turn number 2, coming down the back stretch.
Yeah, as I said, that inside lane there paid out really good dividends for him right there. Got Ryan Broderick behind him. 89 of Spence Thompson paid off for him. Mike Bruno stuck up around that high lane. Way high right now, so Spence is probably going to get this off right here, right, slide up in front of him, maybe. Yes, he does.
Ooh, clips the nose just a little bit there, but that's what you got to do here. Sometimes take the chance. Got a battle for the lead. Ryan Broderick up there in that tied machine's trying to clean up here. Pacer's on the outside. He's definitely making pace around as he come out of the turn 2. Storming down the back stretch. That high line's probably going to be a good preferred line coming out of turn 2. Like I said, the low line after those tires wear out, it's going to be very hard. You need that truck to slide up. So I'm going to say the middle high line is going to be the place you want to be, which is where Pacer's at right now as the race goes on. And if Ryan stays on that bottom, but then again, we have seen some weirder stuff happen in races as Ryan's not giving up front.
No, and there's no need to give up right now. I mean, he's going to have a couple laps here where he can fight on that bottom, but eventually the bottom's not going to quite work out. So you can also use your stuff up. So it's a smart deal for him to just fall in line right here and start running his line. Now you see him taking a little bit higher entry, higher through the center there, and that's just to take care of those tires.
Absolutely, and what we were talking about before too, as they're storming past the line for lap number 4 here of 150. Let's see when they come into turn number 1. As Pacer's taking them here, he's got Ryan Broderick right there. If you see what I'm seeing, they're already up there on that one groove up. Some of them are still down low, like Spence Thompson was down low. But you see Pacer and Ryan, they actually brought it up to where that black mark was, one lane up off the low line in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going up there and try to get that lane worked in a little bit here. A little early, but there's grip up there. Now, slide up a little too much and that there's no grip at all, but we got some big action back here in the back for 12th, 13th, 14th spot. These guys have been 3 wide.
Yes, I see it, though. We're riding along with a 78. That's Cody West out there, and he is in a dogfight. Like you said, there's 2x2 side to side all the way back there. You got the 54, Chris Akers, David Levine's there, Bradley Wilson, Andrew Kennelly. But these guys, man, are doing big things. There's DJ Hargrove right there in the mix. Well, I'll tell you, you're right. These guys are staying door to door. But that's what happens when a big field like this, a lot of guys, men, are running very close to each other. They stay right on top of each other.
Yeah, and you really do in the back because you got guys, as I mentioned before, that are going to want to work their way up and gain some spots here. Especially, if we catch a caution, you want to be as close to the front as you can get. So just because you didn't qualify well doesn't mean you can't race well, because you're not going to go out here and lay down the exact same thing you did in qualifying, because you just use your stuff up. So just because you qualify in the back doesn't mean you can't work your way to the front. And a lot of these guys back here know how to do it. Unfortunately, all the guys that know how to do it right now are surrounding each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it is still a good fight going on back here. As you see DJ Hargrove right there, you got Craig Lerman in the mix. They're still nose to tail. duking it out back there for the awesome battling positions. As now they get kind of single file just a little bit. You got a little further back here. You go there. I think it's the Oil Cans by Hancock right there with the BA graphics on it. Looking good. That's old Bradley Wilson. You got Jared Beasley back there in the mix. That 114 machine. He's back there. But these guys are actually battling pretty hard.
Yeah, they are. And I'm looking at the 51 right now running in 10th. That's Davis Richards. He's around the 5 car right now, and the 25 trying to take those spots away. And Davis started 15th on the grid and trying to get into this 8th, 9th position fight right here.
There he is trying to bring that. Oh, we got a truck around, excuse me. And from the looks of it, I want to say it was Brian Hartford. Might not be, but I think he was one of them involved, so we'll go back on to him. And this is what we're going to show right here on this replay. Yeah, him and the 88 just got together. Right here's what I was talking about in the pre-race here, qualifying. Not a self-cleaning track. When he got turned around like that, that truck did not go high or go low. It stayed right in the middle of the track. Problem is, and what we mentioned was it happened right there in the middle of everybody and nowhere to go except, well, obviously right into him. So it took some good trucks there. Could have been a lot worse than what we've seen, but everybody's coming into pit stops now.
And that's just a product of just letting the truck roll right there. You think you're off the guy. Maybe, drug a little bit more brake than you, and you just kind of tap him right there. So, just one of those racing deals, man. That happens down in there. 3 and 4, you can carry a lot of speed through there, so it's hard to judge sometimes.
Yep, absolutely. Tires are going to be at a premium here tonight. You'll hear us talk about it throughout the race. Why not? You're looking at it and going, well, they've only been on it for 10 laps. Hey, 10 laps here, because after a while, they'll start falling off, and you're going to be screaming at your crew, man, can I get, maybe 8 or 9 tires on here? Because I need them. Maybe put some in the back of the tailgate. Have them out there on the track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, could you see that now? Mobile tire changing. Yeah, that would be a first for NASCAR.
Well, you think it's about 10 laps, you're going to get about a 10th and a half or so of fall off just in 10 laps. Looking at Bruno's times and some of the other guys, about the same amount of fall off here.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it looks like not everybody came in because Mike T. Bruno's still up front. Tommy Haynes along with him, Cody West, DJ Hargrove, David Levine, Blake Phelan. I know Pacer was one of the first ones to go in, so 7th on back, I believe everybody went. I don't know if those top 6 went in or not, so we're going to have to see if that pays off.
It's definitely going to pay off for them. Track position here is just it's a must-have if you can stand to stay out there, and only having about 9 laps of green on your tires not going to hurt you. The guys that are going in to get tires, they're going to have about 4 good laps of battling, and then they're going to have to start taking care of their stuff here, and they're not going to be much of a threat here.
Yep, absolutely. That's kind of funny, though. We got Mike T. Bruno and Tommy Haynes, battle of the PC companies up front there. So, nice-looking trucks there. And actually, Chevy-Toyota battle. I wish they'd bring the Ford truck back. That would be awesome. And why not just bring the Dodge truck back, too? So, I miss those. Those were always nice.
Yeah, don't get me started on bringing Dodge back.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
It's a hated
at least
thing.
I could understand the Dodge not being back in the NASCAR, but at least bring the Ford truck back because it still races. I mean, and it takes us
still
back,
out there.
And it does good. I mean, they still do. Well, it does good. I mean, Brad Keselowski racing, that's who it is. He does well. I think it's more of we take it back to what we were talking about earlier about iracing marketing and all that. It is, hey, folks, it's a business. And, you got to get rights and all that stuff to do it. And, it's about money sometimes. And, money talks. That's the old saying. Just like John, he's not talking.
Yeah, well, doesn't really have anything educational to add to that. Or
Yeah.
so, looking at some other things.
Yeah, I mean, well, it is. They kind of tell you our age too, you know. So
The lights off on the pace car. So, got Mike T. Bruno, Tommy Haynes, Cody West, DJ Hargrove, David Levine, top 5.
absolutely, well, good group of trucks up there. Is about to get set here to go back green flag race. Oh, Robert Moore just sent me a message. He's all excited about his views on his race there, and they should be. Those guys, man, worked hard. I was happy. I'm gonna say lucky, fortunate. Jack and the iRacing guys over there. When I sent the message in, they said, "Hey, sure, we'll put them on iRacing Live." And I've tried some other nights, but a lot of those are filled, and it is what it is. About to set to go back green flag racing here. We're gonna ride along with Cody West. Let's see if that top side track position pays off here, or if Pacer can come through the field. Pace car's in. You know, Mike T. Bruno is gonna have to hammer down and take off. I want to see behind him what Cody West can do as they storm off side to side. Tommy Haynes taking that high side line in there as they all get single file going into turn number 1.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think there's anybody better on restarts than Mike T. Bruno in this league. That man, when he's on point and he can, set the field there, he just takes off like a rocket ship every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you see 2 different lines there. Cody's going low, Tommy's going high. After a while, that will pay off for Tommy there if he's able to keep that truck where it's at. So it's a good thing we're seeing right now, though. We're watching old Pacer. Pacer's back there in the 8th. Ryan Broderick is bound to move that thing up as them 2 back there are in a heated discussion going on with about 2 and 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, that's one thing Mike likes to see in his mirror right now is he's battling hard behind him as he's taking off. And it does slow you down here because you've got to, really modulate that throttle even more. Being on the inside like Tommy is right now isn't going to help him, so he's just got to be patient, try to get back on that top side.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Pacer, man, that truck got very, very tight, and he moved way up the track right in front of the 89 of Spence Thompson, almost cut the nose off of it right there. A very close move, but he's got new tires, and now you see Ryan Broderick and Pacer both bringing those things to the front very slowly but surely, so it's a good thing to see as old Spence Thompson's back there duking it out, man, with a 61 machine, and that would actually be 51 machine, excuse me, it looked like 61 from here, but 51 machine of Davis Richards. They're actually side by side, and they got Blake Filon and the Pokemon in front of them as they try to take him 3 wide.
Yeah, and they do split him 3 wide here, leaving Blake in the middle. Davis up high. Let's see how this is going to work out. Almost touch right there. Spence very wisely goes way down to the bottom there to give him some room.
Yeah, but right behind him, Eric Tess is thinking about taking 3 wide. No, he gets in the back of him, Blake does. Just one of those deals where they was racing hard. Davis had it saved, didn't save it. Into the wall, cautions out. Wow, that was just one of those things we just saw right there. Very quick. It was basically a product of them going 3 wide, and we saw those trucks just jumping around everywhere.
Yeah, 3 and 4 is tough enough. 2 wide, 3 wide, just not going to work out very well.
Well, like you said, they came out of turn 2, almost touched there. Man in the middle, he's got his hands full as it is. So Blake Filon, they went into the turn. Yeah, that truck just dove and moved up the track. Barely, it might have been a little net code there as you'll hear us talk, but just barely tapped each other. Look, this truck just washed up. Like you said, going into 3 and 4, and the 32 almost got by. It looks like 32. Might be somebody else, but just nowhere to go on the high side, clipped him. So definitely going to have to use those fast fixes here. And they do have one fast fix, by the way, folks, which means they can pull out a backup car if they need to.
Yeah, it means you get a brand new, fresh, clean truck here, but 17 laps into a 150 lap race at a difficult track. That doesn't play into your favor to have to use it this early.
No, it doesn't, and that means you're going to have to be very, very patient, very methodical, and just be calm, which is, not very hard to do, because if we get into a very long green flag run, if you're very patient, you're going to come through the field one by one, because you're going to save those tires. I know we've talked about it before. You can be fast on the front side, and if you're fast enough on the front side to get a big enough, let's say, lead, then the guy that actually runs you down, by the time he runs you down, it's going to be green flag pit stops, and then you just do it all over again. And so the guy that's actually saving tires can't let you get too far ahead of him to where you can't run him down. So that's another thing you can be mindful if you're wanting to save tires.
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we seen it in one of the races. I think it was Tyler Justice. He kept getting such huge leads, and the second place driver was running him down. The problem is, by the time he ran him down, well, they were pitting again. It was the end of the tire cycle. So it was a never-ending thing. So, like I say, if Mike T. Bruno, let's use him as an example, keeps getting those jumps on restarts and getting out there 5, 6, and 8 seconds. If you're only making up, what, 5/10 a lap towards the end of the run, well, you're just not going to have enough time to catch him. So you just can't let him get up there that far is all. So you're going to have to eventually run your car. Now, there's one guy on this field I know that uses that strategy and uses it well. That's Eric Tesh. We've seen him do it every time we talked about him. And he loves saving tires. He loves long green flag runs. But we've also seen him, and we've sit back and thought, well, this race is not going his way. And then lo and behold, they go into a sprint race, and next thing we know, he's holding with him. For some reason, he flips a switch and is able to do something.
He just maintains and takes care of his tires, and he has a little bit more at the end than some guys do. If it's a long run here. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, the guy that felt like the Lone Ranger there was at 32 of Pacer Popham. He was the only truck to stay out. Everybody else behind him pitted.
It is. He might not be too bad off. He's 7 laps into his tires. We saw what it did before. They really wasn't making that much headway. Now, Ryan Broderick and him back there very fast on newer style tires. We're going to see what happens here. If he can get far enough out there, get away from them. We haven't seen anybody else get way out there so far. Eric Tesh was just talking about him. He's sitting in the 4th place spot. Old Gordon Larson there, though. Look at him starting 2nd. Man's able to move it up there. And it looks like he might be pretty happy. He actually started 16th, currently 2nd. You sure he pitted?
Yeah, I believe he took 2 for track position. Okay. Because I went back on the replay, and every truck went into pit road except 32. So he would have wished more trucks stayed out, keep a little space between himself and the guys that had pitted before, some guys on older tires versus the new tires. But now he's surrounded by new tires.
Absolutely. Well, right now we're going to stack these things up side to side. We're at Kentucky Speedway under the lights. Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine here. We got 32, 31 bad fast drivers and some monster trucks here. About to set to do battle again. Going to be lap 21 this time by 150 folks. A few little single spin style cautions out here. Kind of just some racing incidents, but here we go. Pace car's about to duck off into pit road. Send these monster trucks a rolling. Pacer Popham right there in the front side. He's definitely doing some pacing tonight, looking good while he's at it. So here we go. Pace car ducks off into pit road, and it's going to lead these trucks. He's going to pace these guys very slowly right down here. Oh, he puts the hammer down and is gone as they storm across the start-finish line. And the thunder and the sounds right there, heading off into turn number 1, side to side. Ryan Broderick has got his hands full with Gordon Larson on the outside. Eric Tessman had to make a move right there because Gordon got a little loose, and he had to check up. So he's probably going to lose a few spots on that deal.
Yeah, and you see the amount of time that Ryan Broderick here has been able to make up on the leader. Leader got a great jump out of the start there, but just through the turns here, just eating him up. And now he's on the back bumper here of the 32.
Yeah, it is. It's a matter of time probably before he takes that high line, and he does on the outside here, going for the lead. Ryan Broderick's trying to bring the Tide Ride to the front here in the number 34. Pacer Popham, though, on the in the inside there. He is definitely staying one step up off the track, so he is definitely saving some tires. He gets the arc coming off as they both up there against the wall, very close, flirting with disaster right there. Very easy to hit that wall coming out of turn 2 as you come down the back stretch, and we're under caution.
That'd be the 28 and the 114.
Ouch. Ooh, Jared Beasley, hate to hear that on his end. Man did a wonderful job last night.
I'm sorry, 28, 114 already had damage.
All right, well, let's go back on the 114 and probably get near where it's at then. 114 already had damage there. We'll see if we can't get an idea, maybe roundabout area.
It's coming off a 2 with the 28 truck.
Oh, right. Oh, that's Ryan Daniels. I hate to see that on his end. All right, let's go back on him then. I was watching my chart over here, and I saw the names jumping up and down. Usually when they do that, it kind of gives me the area that it's in. We'll see what happens here. He's back here with the 90 truck, which is actually Robbie Buckner. And, you know, Ryan mentioned before, it's not one of his favorite tracks. And, kind of was giving him a little bit of a hard time. And, yeah, he came out of turn 2, and he just lost that thing. The problem is boom, when he lost it, right there back in front of someone else, ouch. And we said it before, not a self-cleaning track. You just saw right there, the truck did not go low, did not go high. It just stayed where it was.
Yeah, well, the thing that hurt Ryan there is he drove it down, way down on the inside line, and got the left side tires down on the apron just a little bit, and that will get you loose as you can be. It doesn't take much for that to happen here. Then the problem is it's not a lot of banking, so then as you come out of the turn, it's going to shoot the truck back up the track. You're turning right trying to correct it, and with the low banking, that creates better grip. And unfortunately, when you have your wheel turned to the right, you get that grip, spins you around in front of other trucks.
Absolutely. Right now, Gordon Larson's still been able to stay in third spot. Now, this is going to help Pacer up there, because it'll cool them tires back down a little bit. As Ryan Broderick, I'm going to say, went into the pits because he's way back in the 22nd position. So maybe a little strategy on his end.
He did pit.
Wow. Yeah, a little strategy on his end. So, good move or not?
When you just pitted, I don't know why else you would go in and pit, though, when you got track position. But, I mean, Ryan Broderick is a great driver, and he knows more about taking care of your stuff. And, you know, I'm not going to take anything away from him. If it was me, I'd have stayed out. He had a feeling he wanted to go in and get tires, so more power to you.
Sorry about that. Just checking my sound out, just looking at everything, trying to make sure everything sounded good for everyone out there tonight. And again, want to appreciate everyone coming out here. As always, just watching the race here. So far, it's been a good one, just like what me and John talked about on the pre-race here about tire wear, tire management, how these guys can go 2 wide, 3 wide. And right now, all these trucks, as long as it keeps pacing at pace here, they're going to stay on top of each other, not get fanned out a little bit. Unless you're up front. In the back, you're probably going to be on top of somebody most of the race.
Yeah, you are. That's why I say I just track position to me is very important. You know, unless your tires are just beat to death, then I get going to pit road. But we'll see how Ryan does coming up through the field here, and see how these guys do up front. Picture's going to have a tough customer there, and Mike Bruno, as we know, he's going to come up through there. You got Gordon Larson doing great. 2 tires will work if you haven't been out very long, as he wasn't when he pitted before. 2 tires is really a good call for, you know, a little bit of grip and some track position. And I liked what the 32 was doing, though, knowing that he was, you know, probably going to get past. He went to the bottom lane, and that's not really where you want to be. But what he's doing is he's opening a lane for the guy that's faster than him. And that's a very nice, you know, sportsmanship type thing to do when you realize you're a little bit slower. Let me give this guy the lane, and then I can fall in position.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you there on that one. So, well, lights off on the pace car, folks. About set to go back green flag racing here again. Going to be lap 27 of 150. I appreciate you coming out here tonight under the lights, Kentucky Speedway. These boys are going about to duke it out here on this track. Kentucky is a unique style track here. Very good racing. If you like Kentucky and like cup cars, check us out this Saturday. Pace cars in. Here we go. The man out front there, Pacer Popham. He's going to about to pop down on that clutch, man, and take off. As he does, puts the hammer down as they head off into turn number 1. Side by side, storm of trucks as they head there. Gordon Larson's on the inside of Mike T. Bruno. See if he makes anything happen up there. As man behind him, Eric Tess, falls in the line. 78, Cody West is there. You also got David Levine sitting in the 6th spot. Spence Thompson 7th. Craig Lerman 8th. Aiden Young's been able to move it up in the 9th. And Bradley P. Wilson rounds the top 10.
Yeah, just got a slew of trucks here. You got the 00 way high, opening up a big lane down there on the bottom for all these guys to get by him. Got Cody West went by him. Eric Tesh right there. Bruno's making up some time on the leader right here, so we should see him on the bumper here of the leader very soon. And probably get by him there. Unless Pacer has really been able to take care of his tires there. And looks like he did, because Mike's not making up as much time as Ryan did on that other run.
Absolutely not. But you want to talk about a hornet's nest behind him. Eric Tess was able to get around it, but them boys back there were fanning at 3 and 2 wide, racing out the wheels off of those trucks. Storming around here in Kentucky, they are still locked up side to side, coming to the line this time by for lap 29 of 150 in the books here at Kentucky under the lights. You got David Levine, Cody West there, Spence Thompson, all these boys back there, man, are duking it out as they come out of turn number 2. They're door to door, storming down the back stretch.
Yeah, looking at this, we got Craig Lerman up here in that 43 up on the high side. Brad Wilson right behind him. Craig goes way up the track right there, trying to get a good run off here, trying to keep that momentum up.
Yeah, momentum is the one thing we hadn't talked much about on this track. You got to have momentum coming off the turn, arc it up a little bit. You got Eric Tess fighting for his life with Cody West up there as he's on the inside. Eric's on the high side. They might try to split him 3 wide. Here comes Gordon Larson as they're storming off down to turn number 2. He gets a good run. Spence does on the 59 truck of David Levine. Here comes the 25 of Aiden Young. Looking very good in that truck he's got out there tonight. So he's been able to come up through the field. He's sitting in 8th. But right now, John, these trucks here, man, are duking it out lap after lap. Looking like a plate-style race here at Talladega. At Kentucky, by the way.
And as we were talking about all that action there, Mike Bruno made the pass for the lead, and he is just taking off right now. So up there by himself here, got the 78 of Cody West, the 96 of Eric Tess, Spence Thompson, Gordon Larson. Here comes David Levine, made a really aggressive move there to get around, take that inside lane right here, but just a mess of trucks right here fighting for position.
Absolutely. When you got to look at it too this way. These guys have not been able to make any room at all headway to get away from each other, to lock together like glue up there. Still door to door. Eric and Cody right behind them. The champ Spence Thompson's there. Aiden Young's trying to bring it to the front. And that 25 bad fast machine he's got. Gordon Larson's up there. David Levine. These trucks still, and like you said up front, Mike T. Bruno's checked out with a 1-second lead over Pacer Popham. But here in the backside, these guys can just not get away from each other. They are still door to door, and Spence Thompson takes it 3 to the line.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive move by Spence, and he had a great run coming off there and didn't want to scrub off any time, so he just jerked it left and stuck the nose down in there. Now they're 3 wide with Eric in the middle. Cody West up top. Let's see how this works out for him.
Yep, absolutely. They come out of there. They made it work pretty good as Eric Tess thought better of it. Jumped in the line behind Cody West there. Still, Spence Thompson's got Aiden Young on the high side there. They are 4 wide behind him. Boy, folks, you want some action. These guys are mixing it up early on in this race. They didn't get the memo, John, that it's only lap 34.
These guys are just going at it big time here. I'm fanning through the field a little bit. Trying to figure out action to call, but there's action everywhere right here with these guys, man. It's unbelievable what they're putting on right here. You've got the 23 and the 43 here fighting. The 51's outside of them. The 2's in the middle. DJ Hargrove trying to make up some time here, and it's just tough being back here in this pack because you know you're a little faster than some of these other guys, but there's really nowhere for you to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we're seeing right now. You're talking about action up front, middle, and the back, all over the track here. We're just kind of riding along here with David Levine kind of in the middle of it as he's looking to try it on the inside of Spence Thompson. Behind him, they are still locked up side to side. Craig Lerman, Gordon Larson, Matthew Wazenbach's trying to bring it to the front. Oh, yeah, 4 wide. You're right there, George. What's going on, man? And if you like road racing, I see y'all out there talking about it. We got ExtremeMotorsports99.com We got Watkins Glen, that's right, Xfinity Series on Wednesday, Cup action on Thursday. So we got some road racing action coming to you here at OSR Network. And it's not until we get done here at Kentucky. And surprisingly, John, these guys are holding on, staying right like they're racing.
They're doing a great job. You just don't know how tough it is to race like this close, and these packs like this. It's very, very difficult, but you have to have patience. You just have to know you got to let some things in front of you sort out. There's nowhere for you to go, and you have no choice but to be patient. But it helps you take care of your stuff too. Then you'll get your shot at the next guy. So we got a long way to go here, as we're on lap 37 of 150. So you got a long race here.
Yep,
make things happen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Right now, Mike T. Bruno is checking out, 2.2 second lead right here, right along with old David Levine, because it is a massive fight here between them. Eric Tess is in front, Spence Thompson's right there, Aiden Young's in the mix, David Levine, and right behind them, Bradley P. Wilson, and Jason Burgess is right there in the background. Like you just said, patience. David had to have a lot of it because they just stayed locked up 2-2 in front of him for a very long time. He had to wait now until they got single file before he could make a move.
Yeah, and Spence earlier had that big aggressive move on Eric, and Eric's gone back around him now. So we'll see how that works out. But now David's catching back up to the back of Spence here, and then got the oil can by Hancock's machine, the 88 of Brad Wilson behind those guys. Brad's done a great job tonight as well. Started 18th on the grid, running in 7th right now.
Yes, he has actually been able to bring that machine up to the front there. The number 88 did good last night before he ran out of gas. Was leading the race, by the way. Folks, just that's not a way you want to run out of gas. But right now looking good in his truck. Jason Burgess right there, too. Another one started 7th currently. He's in 9th spot, running at 23. Matthew Wazenbach's been able to bring that machine of his from 26 all the way to 10th right now. So very, very methodically, slow going, bringing it up there. Ryan Broderick's another man on the move, as he's been able to bring it up into 11. DJ Hargrove right behind him with Craig Lerman sitting in the 13th spot.
Looks like these guys back here got it sorted out. I was looking at the paint scheme on that 23, man. I got to say that right now, one of my favorite ones so far. I know some of these guys are coming out with some new ones, and really that's a throwback of the old Mopar paint scheme. That was on Ted Musgrave's truck there. So it's a pretty cool looking deal. Change it over to Toyota, but Mopar roots. So I like it.
Yep, absolutely. Now, we were just talking about that before. Right along Ryan Broderick right here, and we'll call it dash cam. As you can see just how close he got to Matthew Wazenbach trying to make that pass as he's on the outside line coming down here out of turn 2 down the back stretch. They are still wheel to wheel, side to side here. They got the 25 of Aiden Young right there in front of him. So he's using that upside middle lane, so to speak, high line here, which is going to work out in the long run. He's got Matthew Wazenbach trapped down the inside. Cracked the throttle just a little bit right there. We heard him. I don't know why. We'll see. He's letting off. Yeah, he's letting that thing drift going to the turn. Now, Matthew's going to get a good run going in. The problem is, watch this drive off the turn. John, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but boy, that was a drive off the turn there, turn 2. That's what that high line does for you.
Yeah, it creates a ton of momentum here, and then you go into 3 and 4 like he's doing here. You go in there with that momentum. You think, I'm going to get past this guy, and now look at the trouble he's got. Now he's lost his momentum. He wanted to keep it up there on the high side, but you think you got grip down there, and you just realize that you just don't. The 3 and 4 can really fake you out because you do have grip to stay down there. The problem is you're out of the throttle a lot longer than you want to be.
Yep, absolutely. Well, right around here, Matthew Wazenbach's watching him too. Up there, duke it out, so to speak. Man, he's got Ryan Broderick. Boy, he had to check up some right there because the truck in front of Ryan checked him up. They're going to think about going 3 wide. Good angle here to show how these guys are going to work around this track. And definitely gives us a good representation of what they have to go through lap after lap here.
Yeah, great job there going 3 wide. Once again, these guys had 3 and 4 wide, making it work for the most part there. Aiden moved down, to give him a little bit more space there as he knew Ryan was coming up through there and he wasn't going to slow down. So these guys have put on a great show, man. Lots of 3 wide racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, we talk about it, Mike T. Bruno still our leader up front here. We're watching this awesome battling going on back here. And if anybody ever watches my broadcast, hey, I like going where a lot of action is on the track. Don't get me wrong, though. Don't forget about the leader up there. He's got a 2.6-second lead over the field. That's Mike T. Bruno checking out in his bad Fast 19 machine. Cody West is right there behind him. Eric Tess is on his tire tracks. But there's still a good fight here, though, as Pacer Poppin, man, has been able to stay in the 12th spot. And in front of him, DJ Hargrove, Aiden Young, and Matthew Wazenbach have just not given up on each other.
Now they're fighting back and forth here. Aiden's been on the inside, now he's back up on the outside. But Matt Wazenbach's done a great job keeping that thing moving, down there on the inside, just fighting back and forth. And DJ's sitting behind him like, I'm faster. There's nowhere to go. And now here we go. The 34 is up in the wall. They're 3 wide, 4 wide.
Wow,
25 goes spinning. Little contact there. Sorry, Joe.
No, but I was about to say, wow, what a save. I mean, he held on to that thing. Wow. Oh, let's go back on the replay. No caution. That was amazing driving by him there, John. We'll go back on this replay and watch that. I was actually in a different angle there. I didn't catch the 3 wide part. We'll catch it on the replay here. And you just said it right there. DJ Hargrove dove it down on the inside, 3 wide, and then contact 4 wide, and contact between Aiden and Matthew, and a awesome drift slide job by Aiden Young to hold on to that thing. Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that was a lot harder to do than it looks. I'll be honest with you. At this track, very hard thing to pull off there. But great job by them, and really nobody's fault. As a 34, he just kind of created a little backlog there, and DJ saw the opening, maybe didn't know that truck was up there, and I had already committed to the move, and you're there, and the 34 is that much slower, so nothing those guys could do but try to make that work.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just racing back there. That's what these guys have been doing, lap after lap, side to side, looking good. Davis Richards currently in 11th spot. So this kind of gives us an idea, a little bit of time here. We can do our run down through the field here right fast. Show off some of the trucks and exciting action that's going on throughout this race. So our leader right now, Mike T. Bruno's out front, got a 3-second lead. The man's leading it here. Eric Tess is right there in second. Spence Thompson's right there on his deck. He's sitting in 3rd spot. Cody West has dropped down to 4th. Well, as we say that, we're under caution right now.
Oh, it's the 43, and who's this other one? 22.
Ooh,
I think it starts with the 43.
All right, let's go back on the 43 here and see what we got. I hate to see that on his end, as always. Don't want to see him get up there. Yeah, 32 and in. Looks like just he pushed up on the top side there. Craig almost had it. Oh, almost had it till the other truck came in and hit him. And he had nowhere to go, like we said before, and then just got nailed again and again with the 75 and all. It's like a ping pong ball. They were knocking that Coke can around on the track a little bit.
Yeah, a little surprised to see so many other guys still flying in there. But never. That's just a product of this racing. We talked about it, pre-race, about 3 and 4, being too wide and how those things happen. And that's exactly what we saw right there. The guy on the outside is trying to make it work. He's on the high lane, thinking where I'm supposed to be. The guy on the inside knows I don't want to be all the way on the bottom. But unfortunately, you got to give each other a little bit of room. Somebody's got to go where they don't want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Or lift. And, easier said than done. I think you used that term earlier. I mean, we saw Aiden have an awesome save there earlier on. So that was definitely easier than it looked. But it's also, easier, said than done to have to lift here. Somebody hit my Coke. Robert's funny.
Yeah, we see everybody's coming to pit road here, getting tires, so nobody's staying out.
Yeah, tires. Well, we was almost getting to a green flag pit stop there.
Yeah, I was put down a lot of laps right there, so that was good to see. Good green flag racing. Some guys moved to the back, some moved to the front, and that's what you like to see is good green flag racing here. Looks like Eric Tesh going to win the battle off of pit road here. Bruno's coming to be second. Spence Thompson third. He's 17, and Tommy Haynes up there. He's a couple laps down. Should get the wave around here to go around and join the back of the field as all the leaders pitted. And that'll put Eric Tesh on pole. Mike Bruno in second. Spence Thompson be third. Jason Burgess and Cody West. Joe didn't drop the mic. He'll be back in a minute.
I'm back. Yeah, mic drop. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. Drop the mic. We out, folks. Nah.
Well, what you missed, we've got a new leader. Eric Tesh won the battle off of pit road. Bruno second. Spence Thompson third.
I know 17, Tommy Haynes got some damage there, and he's going to take the wave around. What happened earlier on?
I missed it. All that other action there, I have no idea what happened. So.
Yeah, me either. That was those guys were mixing it up, and now we're back under caution. They're going to all be bunched back up again. New tires, so we're back at it again here. And this is kind of going to be and every time affair here, as long as these guys keep on cautions keep going or whatnot and keep getting bunched up, that's pretty much the racing we're going to see all night long. And no, I didn't go get no cookies. I need to, but I ain't got them. I ain't bring nothing to eat in here with me tonight. Although I do still have some of them donuts, Robert.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he knows which one I'm talking about, man. It's some good donuts, so I gotta give him that.
Are those the UPS donuts?
Well, you know, my wife's sister came down last week, and she brought like 8 to 9 packs of those things with her.
That's exactly what you need. Is 8 or 9.
Well, I'll probably eat like 3 of them. The things are good, man. I was like,
good
wow.
Lord, talk about being concerned about your health. Here's a bunch of donuts.
Hey, I'm old. It don't matter.
Golly.
Pace cars in. Here we go. About to go back to green flag racing. Like you said, Eric Tess is going to hammer it down and take off. He's going to lead these trucks in turn number 1. He's doing a fine job as he gets a jump out front there. Looking good. He's got Mike T. Bruno back there with Spence Thompson there side to side.
Ryan Broderick made a big move there behind the 23, shot down to the inside lane, and look at him make up a ton of time there and leave the 23 right there. Big move by Ryan Broderick in that 34. As Eric's got some guys breathing out his neck. Spence, look at that run he gets.
Yes, he did. Spence just took the inside lane and just grabbed it away. He held the door open, and boom, here comes Mike T. Bruno on the inside trying to bring that thing to the front. Don't count out that man behind him, though. That's Ryan Broderick right there in that 34 machine. Looks like Eric just does not have the speed here at the beginning. He might have it as they go on, but like I said before, we're back at it again. Davis Richards up there in the mix again also.
Yeah, I don't know if Eric is just, maybe missed the line or something, which isn't like him. It's more like him that he decided, I'm going to take care of my stuff, and he knows these guys are just breathing down his neck here. Problem with that is you become a moving roadblock, and you could get spun here. And these trucks here, you can still run them and be kind of aggressive for several laps, even after 10, 12 laps, still run pretty hard here. So it's very difficult to make yourself back it down, and sometimes when you do that, what happens is what we just saw Eric do. You kind of fall back and you're like, oh, wait a minute. it's a lot of time I just lost. I didn't have to back it off that much.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, Jason Burgess, the man of 6 spots, watching all this transpire in front of him. Eric Tess right there holding strong on the high side of Davis Richards on the inside as they come out of the line here and going into turn number 1 of lap 58 of 150 in the books. Kentucky Speedway here under the lights. Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. It's been a good one so far, folks. Let's get a run summary right fast. Like we said, lap 58 here, 155 lead changes, 4 cautions right now tonight. So, whoops, I hit the wrong button. And,
Cody West is sideways.
Oh, really? Where's he at?
Sideways coming out. Really? No, I'm making that up.
Oh.
Yes, he's sideways and he lost a ton of possessions.
Sorry, that sounded bad, didn't it?
Oh, man, we are so professional. It's unreal.
Oh, well, let's go back on the replay and watch this sideways action for the Firehouse Submachine at the 78 to Cody West. See how well his driving skills are. You're right, he dies it on the inside there. Looks just like the same thing that happened to Ryan. That truck just kicked out. He's able to hold on to it. No harm, no foul. Didn't hit anything, so good driving job by him there. And you're right, kudos to you there, John. He was spinning.
Oh wait,
my bad. I was inside of another car watching it. That's why.
It's just a really like no man. We're just calling a race here. It's no big deal. I'll tell you, 2 guys that can't get away from each other are Aiden Young and Matt Wazenbach, because they are side by side again.
Yeah. All right. Well. You've got a battle there, but we got a battle up front also, and that's what we was talking about earlier. There's battles all over this track. Don't know which way to go because now we got a battle for the lead. Spence Thompson's under he's got some trouble dealing with that number 19 machines on the inside. They're side to side. We'll see if this high line works for old Spence, as it would be a drag race to the line. Mike would hold it on there, but he's got help with Ryan Broderick now. We know Ryan up front. He's going to try to take that lead here himself as he's going to look on the inside there. It takes us back to the race. You remember the race? Mike T. Bruno versus Ryan Broderick. Remember who was able to run down Mike Bruno? That man in the 34.
Oh, yeah. Was that the Dover race? What race was that?
I don't remember what race.
That Ryan did. I think it was Dover. I was at the beach because I was watching it. But I'll tell you what, Bruno,
it was one of them.
Yeah, Bruno knows this track very well. Matter of fact, we ran here the other night in the Hollywood League, and I was behind and gave him a little nudge by accident. But
I'm wanting to say that it was here in the Xfinity car.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say it was here in the Xfinity car because I remember, because you were with me that night in the booth and you said something about Mike Bruno knowing this track very well, and he had such a huge lead, and then all of a sudden here come Ryan Broderick, and then Ryan actually, because Mike Bruno didn't win that night. He tapped the wall eventually, remember?
Yeah.
Tyler
right.
Justice ended up coming up there and getting the win. At the end, it was a duel. It was an awesome race, folks. And you go back and I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, it was an awesome race because Mike was kicking himself. He made a mistake there the last closing laps. And but he dominated the whole race. The only guy that could do anything with him was Ryan Broderick. And if not mistaken how it turned out, Tyler Justice did a 2-tire stop and got out front. And Mike couldn't get around him and ended up driving it up into the wall. It was just an awesome, awesome race. I think Eric Tesh was in the mix also. But anyways, it was an exciting finish. And I'm watching this battle just telling me about here with Aiden Young and Matthew Wazenbach. They're back there duking out there. They're teammates. We were talking about that earlier on, the Hurricane Motorsports. Hopefully Aiden doesn't have a hurricane in the cockpit because it'd be, a little windy and kind of wet, but, it'd be on him.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the can.
Oh, my bad.
The 12-ounce hurricane. That's small, but still just as dangerous.
True. It's probably like that NOS Energy stuff also.
Oh, my goodness, man. But Yeah, Mike's been able to get a little bit more space up here between him and Spence, but Spence got a good run at him right here, but still about a truck and a half. But yeah, Mike is he's really good here. He knows his track and he can run it well from start to finish. So that'll probably be one of those nights where he stays up front here and might come away with it.
If he doesn't make a mistake. Right now, though, he's not been able to get away from Spence Thompson and Ryan Broderick. They've been able to stay there, and we say that Spence Thompson on the inside. I'm still back here riding along Matthew Wassenbach. I got to say it for Ryan's part. You know, I like Ryan. He's a good guy. We give him a hard time all the time. I told him I would. Their slogan on the back end of Aiden's truck, storming to the front. I got to give him credit. Aiden Young definitely is storming to the front. He's been very good. Lap after lap, he's been able to bring that truck and move around trucks up front, and we might see him up there before the end of this race.
Yeah, anything can happen here. I mean, we've seen some guys really work their way back up to the front, and Ryan Broderick doing the same thing, worked his way back up here, and he's gotten his way around Bruno now for the second spot. Spence Thompson's in the lead here. Bruno might be falling back just a little bit to take care of his stuff.
Yeah, you might be thinking long run here. If this thing goes to a long green flag run, and that's what he would hope for. Spence Thompson, though, out front, he is chomping at the bit to get another win here. Obviously, the defending champ here. I call him the champ, Spence Thompson, because he is the defending Monday Night Thunder Series champion, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine in the Truck Series here from last season. And if you missed those last 4 races last season, hey, you can go relive them here at OSR Network on YouTube. Check it out. Speaking of YouTube, that's where we're at tonight, that Twitch and all, and Tweeter. I like saying Tweeter, because that's just what I like saying. But right now, a good battle. Ryan Broderick. You don't like Tweeter?
It's fun to say.
It's fun to say. Isn't
Oh,
it?
man. I'll tell you who I'm watching right now is the number 2 truck of DJ Hargrove. Here in the last couple of weeks, man, he's just really turned the wick up on it, and I think just been driving aggressive. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He just said, to heck with this. I'm going to the front. I'm staying up here. And he's doing it, man. He's just getting the job done. We've seen him start from the back and work his way up to the front a couple times. Been in some bad incidents, but work his way up through there. Last night had another good run for him. But he's doing a great job now. I think his season's starting to turn around for him.
Absolutely. Well, he was one of those 4 that battled for the championship at Homestead last season. Came up just a little short there at Homestead, and we're under caution.
I'm looking.
0-0.
Yep.
This old Gordon Larson, hate to see that on his end there. Was having a good run earlier on. Let's go back on the replay here. Let the folks out here in the chat check out the action on what happened there.
Oh.
Side to side with the 11 machine.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, looking out there. Well, they're duking it out side to side. One's up there making with 32.
Yeah.
Pacer
Now
pop
you see why I didn't say anything.
Well, let's go on the 32 because I was watching from the 0-0. Because now we know it started with the 32. Let me find him on my chart here. Out of all these drivers, and my bad eyesight. Show you how old I am. All right, let's go back on him. All right. See how this thing actually started. As just a hard lick there by the 0-0. And let's go back one more time because we see Pacers out there. He's not pacing, but he's flipping upside down for some reason. Well, he's riding right there with Bradley Wilson. He's on his back deck lid. We see, looks like Matthew Wassenbach right there in front of him, but I'm not 100% sure with Aiden Young. But a group of trucks right there. Pacer guys on the inside. Okay. He dives on the inside there. He looks like he's clear. And that truck just comes up, and he had to get out of it. And when he did, yeah, when he got out of it, it looks like the truck just, I don't know, his net coater just got together. And I hate to see that between those two. And then that truck just went down the lane, and the 0-0, no place to go. Hate to see contact like that, as always, but it's one of them racing deals.
Yeah, that unfortunately is going to end Pacer's night here tonight. But looked like he was just pushing really bad right there, and then he lifted. And then in doing that, it doesn't end the push at this track because of where it's you know, it's got some banking, but it's still pretty flat. So you're still going to push a little bit, and then you're out of the throttle at the same time. A truck behind you, you know, is just creeping up on you. So just a, you know, very close racing. One of those things that happens, but you know, it just kind of a bad deal, man, because you're trying to stay off the guy and not cause trouble for somebody else, but it creates trouble for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and it does. Just hard racing there, like we mentioned earlier. Close racing between these guys, and definitely just unfortunate set of circumstances. Tim, that was kind of an experiment. I was only doing it for a while. Might go back to it for a little bit. Just want to give everybody, man, you know, YouTube's my main priority, and that's where everything is, and especially with a lot of the portal stuff. I have to set up a lot of events through YouTube. So yes, that means I sit through 19 of those racing freaks and made an event for each one of them and sent a link in, but that's okay. It was worth it. And that's kind of just put more interest in the YouTube side. I can still do Twitch and Twitter and whatnot. The Facebook thing was more, but hey, you can look at the page, OSR Network still. Check out all the action and updates for racing and leagues and what's going on around the sim area of iRacing and whatnot. OSR Network, catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. And oh yeah, check us out online at onlinesimracingnetwork.com. So now that I've done all the plugs, we're good to go. We're back at it here because we're at lap 75 of 150. That's going to take us halfway here tonight under the lights here at Kentucky for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine.
DJ Hargrove going to be in third position here. Sorry, I'm laughing because somebody is making a bunch of racket in my house, and I had to wait to push the button.
That's awesome. Who would that be? Significant other?
Yeah,
dog?
yeah. You know how it is every time, man. Every time.
Yeah, when I was out there in the living room, had it set up, it seemed like all day long everything was quiet. As soon as I turned the mic on, boy, they was in the kitchen, banging. I'm like, what is this? A magnet? Yeah. Really?
Next thing you know, you got the whole cast of Stomp in your living room.
Absolutely. It's just like, oh yeah, the neighbors are coming over, and I'm going, no, lock the door. What's wrong with you? I gotta love it, folks. That's what we do. We have fun up here. Call this exciting racing week in and week out. Like I said, I mean, I love doing this, putting in all the hard work. I appreciate John being up here in the booth with me, as I do with Ryan W. Daniels on the Wednesday and Thursday, man. Good group of guys. And I've had some other guys in the booth. Appreciate them. I'll give a shout out, man. Most notably, you know, David Ivory over there at Dre Broadcast Network, man. Those guys do a wonderful job.
Everly,
my bad.
You always say Ivory.
I don't know why. I don't know.
The man's not soap.
He might be clean like it, but I don't know. You know, I mean, what was that old saying about it? Was Irish clean or fresh? Or I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. Just gather your thoughts because we're going green.
We're going green flag racing. Absolutely, you're right. It's going to be
a long night, people.
It is. But we have fun. I hope you enjoy it. As always, these guys are enjoying it out here on the track because right now Ryan Broderick was able to power that Tide machine to the front here. And as that pace car is coming out of turn number 4, we're going to take the hard left turn off on pit road. We're going to be at lap 77 of 150 here. I'm going to put it in the books at Kentucky. Monster truck's here about to fire up. He's going to put that metal pedal to the floor, hammer through the gears here, stomp down on it because a Thunder just went past the start-finish line, and that's 31 bad, fast trucks. Ryan Broderick jumps out front into turn number 1. Mike T. Bruno's trying to run him down in the tire tracks. Here comes DJ Hargrove, like you said. As they storm out of turn 2, they are single file coming down the back stretch.
Yeah, great start for Broderick there. Got Bruno behind him. Bruno's going to have to, you know, go a little bit here. I know he likes to take care of his stuff if he can, but got all these trucks behind him here. And, you know, DJ Hargrove's not going to wait up for anybody. He wants to get to the front and stay there, stay out of trouble. The man's been caught up in way too much other stuff. Eric Tesh back here. Davis Richards, 23 of Jason Burgess. All these guys doing great. 71 Hartford now goes to the bottom, as does Davis Richards.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Hartford right there looking good in the 8th spot. Jason Burgess right there in the 7th spot. As these guys, man, are just battling it out back there side to side down the bad stretch as they coming into the turn here. Eric Tess is in the mix back there, along with Matthew Wazenbach, Aiden Young, Cody West, and all those are still locked up like glue as they're heading to the line this time by for lap 79.
Jason Burgess, looks like Brian Harper's going to go to the bottom. Trapping Burgess on the inside there. Good move by Aiden Young not to make that 3 wide there. Thought better of it.
Absolutely. We've already seen that a couple times tonight. It's worked once or twice. A couple times, not so much. Right now, they're coming down the back stretch. They are still locked together, 2 by 2, coming into the turn number 3. They'll come out of turn 4, long sweeping style turn before they come across the line for lap 80 of 150 in the books. You're right there, though. Jason Berg is looking good. He's got the 71 of Brian Hartford right there on his back bumper, though. Aiden Young on the high side. They are still side by side in turn 1.
Yeah, Hartford's still just staying strong on that bottom right now, but you see the outside lane there, the momentum that you're able to keep up. The 23 pulling away. 25 gets a run on the 71. He kind of cuts him off right there. Nothing wrong with that, though. Got to protect his position.
Yes, he does. Got to protect all night long because that's what it's going to be. A long, long night for these guys. They're fanning it out a little bit, single file. Different lanes we're seeing. Some guys in the middle, some guys high, some taking a little bit lower line through here. Right now, they settle their differences, man, and all get single file here and think better of it to be a little bit patient here at lap 81 of 150.
That 23 loses a lot of momentum here. Now you got Davis Richards in the 51. Moved up on the inside of DJ Hargrove. DJ stayed on up the outside lane there, trying to make that thing work. But Davis making up a little bit of time on these guys here, DJ and Spence Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got old Billy Hargrove out there. That man, that's the dad there, DJ Hargrove. Been talking to him about. And he likes to call him the fisherman. I guess it's because this guy, when he latches on the back of trucks, he reels them in and goes right on by him. He says, that's one catch down. I'm going for number 2 here tonight. And he's looking good. He's actually sitting in the top 5. And what we said before, but Davis Richards able to make that pass on him for the 4th spot as he's heading up there trying to set his sights for Spence Thompson here as Ryan Broderick is checking out. He's got an 8/10 lead over Mike T. Bruno and Spence Thompson up front right now. But Davis Richards, as they cross the line for lap 84, 83 of 150. They're looking good racing so far.
Yeah, they are. And I'm watching this number 2 here again. I want to see if he does this move again to the 51. Watch him creep up on his bumper here. I want to see if he gives a bump to him here on entry. What that does is it makes the 51 push and go into that turn harder than he wanted to. He did it to him before, and the 51 went up there way high and had to fight that thing back down, and DJ couldn't get past him there because Davis took that line away. But a very smart racing move. You're not wrecking the guy. You're just pushing him up a little bit, and so you can make a pass.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that if you're very smooth with the throttle and the way you hit them. Don't hit them in a certain way because you are running 160, 170 mile an hour, not just like a short track where it might be 80 to 100 mile an hour. Big difference there. So good move, good throttle control on his part to be able to do it. But look at Eric Tess, Iceman for the Netherlands, pull up on the back deck lid there. The 2 machine, he says, y'all battle a little bit more. I'll just come on, sell on right by both of you there, and then y'all can settle in on the back side of me. So everybody in a single file order here up top all the way back. Maybe now, let's start with the leader up here. And do a run down here of the field.
Oh, whoa. 25, Aiden Young really threaded the needle between the 88 and the 54. He went through the middle, made it 3 wide right there and pulled that pass off coming out of 2.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do it here. Ryan Broderick, the man out front. Mike T. Bruno sitting in 2nd. Spence Thompson in 3rd. Got to go back here to 4th. We got Davis Richards sitting there. DJ Hargrove looking good, sitting in the 5th spot. There's a Eric Tess right behind him, rolling in 6th. Matthew Wazenbach's been able to pull that thing up from 26 all the way to 7th place right now. Jason Berger sitting in 8th. Brian Hartford sitting 9th. Cody West right there. He's still running in the top 10 place. Aiden Young, like you just said, great moves out there all night long. Man's been driving the wheels off of that truck all night. Sitting in 11th. Chris Akers and Bradley Wilson are battling it out for 12th and 13th respectively. Andrew Kennelly's back there just sitting waiting in the wind in the 14th spot. David Levine's 15th. Blake Filon's right there in the Pokemon machine in 16th. Jason Alexander 17th. Ryan Daniels been able to bounce back and move up to 18th, so he's just kind of hanging out. Been doing good. That's what you got to do here. 19th spot. Robbie Buckner's right there. Jake Little, hadn't really talked much about him, sitting in the 20th. Matthew Skipper, another man out there driving for Tyler Justice. He's in the 21st spot. Ronald White sitting in the 22nd. Terry Mason back there, 23rd position. And you got Gordon Larson, man, got caught up in a wreck earlier on. And he's still running around in the 24th. And Jared Beasley, man, last night did very well. He's sitting back there in the 25th spot. Justin Richter We're in our 26. The first man lap down, Craig Lerman, sitting in the 27. And old Tommy Haynes, he's a couple laps down. He's been able to try to move up there. He's sitting in 28th spot. That's going to round out our field because it's going to take us all the way back around here to our man up front here again, Ryan Broderick and Mike T. Bruno. So good-looking trucks throughout this field here, John, as we went through there. And hope everyone enjoys that. Like I say, a guy in the chat mentioned, he said, hey, I like how you do the rundown. I said, why not? We'll do it each race. They got to get fanned out for us to do it, though.
I would like to give a call to everybody that's racing. I mean, everybody's out there trying hard, and you know, if you're in the back, I mean, you're learning. It's just like me running at Extreme. I don't expect to get much TV time, but I'm out there trying to learn and keep it together. You know, that's all you can do. So, like to you know, pay attention to these guys as much as we can. You know, there's a lot of action we don't want to miss. We don't want the viewers to miss. But I'll tell you what, things have worked out for DJ Hargrove, though. That man has moved himself back up into the 4th spot. Got around Davis Richards there and Eric Tesh. Davis falling back a little bit now. He's got Matthew Wazenbach to deal with.
Absolutely. Well, just got news. We'll go ahead and announce it. Awesome right here. Robert Moyer sent me something for the Racing Freak Sim Racing League. Obviously, they're running at Kentucky. Since we're at Kentucky, be an appropriate time to say it. Running Kentucky this weekend is Saturday. Now, running Kentucky right here for the Monday Night Thunder Series here, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Well, Robert said the Cat Auto Transport is going to be the title sponsor for the Kentucky race this Saturday. But not only that, they're paying out for the top 3. That's right. So if you ain't got anything to do on Saturday nights, you're looking for an awesome league, not just for this weekend, but every Saturday, that is. It's going to be a good one there. They're going to pay out to the top 3 guys there. So we'll give a good shout out to Cat. Connecticut Auto Transport. Remember we saw that the other day, John?
You're right.
That is what it is right there. Cat, Connecticut Auto Transports. Now we know what we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, that is super cool, man. I like seeing that, new people coming in like that, and you know, seeing the value that it brings to be broadcast, and you know, have a good field of drivers that put on a great show. And obviously with iRacing being so awesome and putting those guys on the portal, and just so everybody knows, iRacing doesn't play favorites with that. It's a, hey, we've got a spot open, this is our league, this is how many people we have, and they look at all these leagues, and you know, if they've got a spot for you, they put you in there. So, yep. But you know, great league though, fantastic drivers. If you want to run in there, you know, if you want to learn, it's a great place to go and learn. If you feel like you're good enough, you better bring your A game, because them boys over there don't mess around.
Absolutely, they don't. They put on a good show at Daytona. They got Kentucky this weekend, and just like this Kentucky race here tonight in the Truck Series, these guys are putting on a good show. It has been a good race so far. Lap 94 of 150. We've had a good long green flag run right now. Ryan Broderick's the man out front. I'm riding here with Eric Tesh and DJ Hargrove, Davis Richards right there, Matthew Wazenbach. He's going to bring that thing up to 7th, because they've all been running nose to tail here for the last several laps. Seems like they've kind of calmed down a little bit and thought, okay, we'll be a little patient here and not use our stuff up so easily.
Yeah, well, the tires are what makes you patient. By this point of the race, there's not much you can do here except just to try to run your line and, you know, keep it together. The guy in front of you might slip up a little bit, lose some momentum. You can make up a spot. Just got to be patient with it. But the tires are what does that for you.
Yep, absolutely. And Robbie Buckner back there running in a 19th spot. Just kind of looking through this field here, seeing what's going on. Looks like everyone's pretty much in a single file line. Do got a battle here, Gordon Larson and Jake Little. Jake Little got a good lead going on Friday nights over there, the Hollywood Racing Series. Check those guys out, man, on Friday night. Looking for just a good fun lead to run in. There you go. Justin Richter blinked just a little bit, but Ryan Broderick, man, what you got?
Oh, we had a battle for 10th there. It sorted itself out. There was Brian Hartford and Aiden Young. Battled side by side for a couple laps. Now Aiden's coming back on him. We were just on the bumper here, but these guys have been going back at it there for several laps. Now he's got Cody West all over his bumper.
Well, you're talking about battles, and you also got Eric Tess and DJ Hargrove side to side. Behind them, you got Davis Richards and Matthew Wazenbach side to side. So now, we were just saying they were all nose to tail, but just like that, they go 2 by 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, at this point in the race, the tires are starting to go. The guys that have taken better care of theirs, you're going to make up some time on some guys, and we're starting to see that now. Some of these guys, the fall off's been pretty bad. maybe having to back up their entry a little bit more, a little bit slower. Just got to be patient, man, and just work through here. And each truck that's in front of you, that's a goal at this point in the race. You're not going to make up a ton of spots. Just catch the guy in front of you and get around him. If you can't pass him, just run right there with him so you don't lose any time.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what I was talking about earlier is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. Ryan Broderick has a 1.2 second lead. The time difference that Mike T. Bruno is at right now, because we're coming up on probably the end of the run for the tires here, that would be a green flag run. The time last time was a 31.97 for Ryan, 31.84 for Mike T. Bruno. He's only making up about a tenth, maybe half a tenth a lap. By the time he catches Ryan, guess what? They're going to go be getting into pit stops and tires, and it's going to be a cycle all back over. That's what I was mentioning earlier about the guy out front getting so far ahead that the guy saving behind can't make that difference up fast enough that it's going to help him in the long run.
Right. Well, Eric ran a 8:20 and Hargrove ran a 8:32. So those two fellas are pretty fast right here. And obviously being in their position, what they're trying to do is make up, cut into that chunk of time right there as much as they can, so they don't lose so much time on the leader right there. They'll probably come in when the leader pits or, maybe the very next lap, but they're not going to, I don't look for them to try to stay out very long because the time that you'd be giving up is not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right there. I got a feeling, though, well, now we're in a two-stop cycle here. Nobody can take this thing 50 laps, not in the trucks anyways. Your tire fall off would be too drastic. You might be able to do it in fuel, but tires would not make 50 laps at this track. I don't care what kind of driver, because actually you physically could go into the pits, get tires, come back out and run down that other guy out there trying to do that. It would be that much of a drop off. So to me, if this thing goes green from here on out, you're looking at 2 more stops easily.
Yeah, I'm looking for the 34 of Broderick. Looked like he just hit pit road. He was running in the 16th spot. Anywhere from 10th to 15th there, showing him in 16th. Now he pitted. So he came down pit road. Eric Tesh is coming to pit road.
Yeah, well, Ryan Broderick was the leader out there, so that's who you're referring to. And what you just said, he hit pit road. Here comes a storm of other trucks. Mike T. Bruno and Eric Tess, they know better than to stay out any longer since that leader, because they understand it's a 2-stop gamble here if it goes green the rest of the way. Obviously, knock on wood, it does, but if it doesn't, then caution will mess everything up, and whatnot. But either way, it's a 2-stop pit or 2 pit stop cycle here. You're going to have to get 4 tires. Might be able to push 2 on that second one. Be a big gamble.
Yeah, I'm sure about he was in the lead. I don't know. I just caught him out of the corner of my eye there, but Bruno's coming off a pit road now. DJ Hargrove still in the lead, has not pitted. Wazenbach's behind him, Davis Richards. All these guys have to come to pit road. The question is, how long are they going to try to stay out? Maybe see if they can't catch a caution here. If they do, obviously that'd be very beneficial to them.
Yeah, it was like last night, caught a caution right at the right time with Jared Beasley. He stayed out very, very long, helped him out in that race. So, but here's the thing. If you don't catch it within the next lap or so, your best to go ahead and duck on down. You're losing so much time. Just to give you an idea, DJ Hargrove ran a 32.1, and old Ryan Broderick ran a 31.1. So you're talking about over a second difference there that's going. Now he's obviously going to be in traffic a little bit, but still that's that's a lot of time.
Yeah, it really is. I'm riding along here trying to see if DJ's doing anything to save. He's really backing the turns up a little bit here, but you can tell, man, the tires are just tires are gone. So I think he's tried to stay out here and catch a caution, but look for him to be coming to pit road any minute now.
Yeah, you want to talk about time-wise. I think Ryan and him had to go through some lap traffic because their time before that was a 30.9. DJ's is a 32.2, so he's losing even more time than what we said prior. The more he stays out, that's what I was saying. If a guy even attempted to stay out here and say, okay, I'm going to try to run it one more stop, make this stop and run the rest of the race. The tires would be so far eat up, a guy could theoretically go in, throw on tires, and run them right back down for the end of it, as long as he did it early enough. But knowing that, I say the window here is probably around 30 to 38 laps, give or take, right in that area.
Yeah, I would think so, because the tires now are just, man, they're just completely shot.
Absolutely. Well, we see Ryan Broddick and Mike T. Bruno go around. DJ Hargrove, they're going to set their sights on and get back on the lead lap. At this point, I'm coming into pit next time by. Now that I know that they went by me, because the thing about it is, once they come by me, which he didn't, once they come by me, guess what? You got to come in the pits. You're going to be right there on top of them as soon as you come in or out of pit road.
Yeah, I think that he may have waited a little too long there. But again, I mean, DJ's been doing this longer than I have, as far as, figuring out how to run these things around here and running for championships. So, we'll see how it plays out for him. But, well, I mean, for somebody that can run from the back to the front, we've seen DJ Hargrove do it more than anybody else.
Yep, well, speaking of Spence Thompson, here he goes. He's seen enough of them guys coming on his back deck lid and says, I'm coming in. And DJ Hargrove still stays out, though. But Spence Thompson, our leader, he ducks in. He said, I've had enough. He said, I'm coming in here getting 4 fresh tires, because he saw them coming. Now, let's ride with Spence to see just how much time Ryan and them makes up after his pit stop. So we're going to run here and watch him do his pit stop here. He gets into his box very well. And they're going to jack up to one side there, giving the 2 tires on that side. Just give you an idea right now, Ryan Broddick and company, they're back on the lead lap. They're 20-something seconds back. All right, Spence is coming off pit road now. It's going to be interesting to see just where they're going to be at as opposed to where Spence is going to be at as he is coming around the turn to get back on here. They're coming out of the turn also. They're coming in turn 1. He's coming out of turn 2. So they're going to make that gap up, as I believe they're coming out of turn number 2 at this point now, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, DJ's still in the lead. He's at the line now.
Yep.
So, he's obviously, he ran a 32.154 right there, just backing off there. But, I mean, really, it's just one more stop. It's a one-stop race from here on. So, just be interesting to see what he can do here. It doesn't seem like we're going to catch a caution.
It is a one-stop, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. 38 laps, and obviously Ryan and him is going to have to go almost 40 laps or more on a set of tires.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's
you got to take care of it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about. You could do it. If I was back, let's say, 8th or 10th spot, I'd probably go in at lap 125, put on a set of tires, and come back here and see if I can't run them down, if I knew they were going to. But then again, that might force them to come in also, just seeing you do that, because the tire fall off, or the fall off that's going to be up front, is going to be tremendous. And DJ Hargrove is yet to do this. Now, by what he's doing, I will give him credit, because like we just said, Ryan Broddick and them are going to have over 40 laps on their tires out here. Him and Mike T. Bruno, if they decide to go the whole way at this point. Now, obviously, folks, we're saying that there's no caution. But if they go the whole way, DJ Hargrove is playing what I'm basically saying, a one-stop affair here to go later on. If he can stretch this thing another couple laps, he's only going to have to go 32 laps, roughly, or so, on a set of tires.
The total race-winning strategy right here for the two, what he's doing. Beginning was skeptical about it, but the more I've seen what he's doing and what he's doing by staying out and how he's taking it easy in the turns there, race-winning strategy for him right here. So it may very well pay off. And, obviously Bruno and those guys are catching up. They're 25, 26 seconds behind right here. So when he does pit, obviously he'll have some catching up to do, but those guys will be on old tires.
Well, we were talking about times. Ryan Broderick ran a 31.4 that last time. DJ Harker ran a 32.2. So that's only about 8/10 difference. Not quite a second right there between them. Actually, excuse me, my bad. A little bit. No, that's right. Yeah, that a little less than a second. So not as bad as what it was. So it could be, you know, obviously the more Ryan and Mike run their trucks, their tires are going away also.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's what he's doing by staying out this long here. He's just increasing his chance to have fresher tires here towards the end of the run. I mean, he's basically putting those guys in a box. Keep running what you got, and see if he can catch you, or are those guys going to pit and try to, you know, get back up to the front? Because obviously they're back on the lead lap now. You know, Ryan Broderick and Bruno. So it really puts them in a box where DJ knows what he's got to do.
Yep.
You know, one stop and then just go.
He's got nothing to lose either. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now a caution would mess this whole scenario up for him, obviously, because he would have to pit. Well, I say that probably not, because everybody's going to come in the pit then, so it still might not be as bad, but he knows that they're very fast. So this might be like you said, a race-winning move on his end to do this. But hey, what's going on? We was talking about him earlier, Dave. Dre Broadcasting. What's going on out there? I want to wish everybody out here thanks for stopping in tonight. It's a good race here. Getting to the closing laps here at Kentucky Speedway, 119 of 150. How'd your race go over there, Dre?
And the other thing is DJ's lap times are not that bad. They're very consistent. 32 3s and 4s, have slipped in a 5, but keeping the pace right there. So Bruno and those guys are they're 22 seconds behind, so it's not like they're storming through the field.
Well, I was just noticing too, you're talking about lap time. Ryan Broderick's lap time of 31.7. They were running a second, almost a second and a half faster. They're under a second now, so they're slowing down as lap goes on. And reason being is because, folks, you might think, well, they're on newer tires. Well, they are, but now you got to look, they're also on about 12 lap older tires, because they pitted what, about 10 to 12 laps earlier. DJ still might be on some massive old tires. He's been very consistent, like you said. I mean, he's running times within a tenth or two of what his times are lap after lap. Very consistent. So that means they're not able to run him down as fast. But the more he goes now, as soon as he gets new tires, it's hammer time and go. I mean, because right now, he's almost going to be 25 laps into this.
Oh yeah, I mean, unless something crazy happens, this has just been a great call by DJ Hargrove here. It's he's gone a lot longer than I thought he could. He ran a 32.5 right there, so he's keeping it up. But the thing is, he's maintaining the time. I mean, second place is losing time to him, so is third place. So, you know, the only people making up time on him are Bruno, Broderick, and really that's it from what I've seen so far with lap times. They're just those two, the 19 and the 34, are the only guys making up any time on him, and they've still got a long way to go.
Absolutely. Well, we're sitting here talking about DJ. Don't count out that man in second spot, Brian Hartford. Just notice he's had 5 pit stops as opposed to 3 on DJ. We're sitting up here talking about DJ, but these two guys have also stayed out, with Bradley P. Wilson also and Blake Phelan staying out there along with Aiden Young. So there's several other guys. Jared Beasley right there in 6th spot. So there's some guys that up there behind DJ probably playing the same strategy. They're not quite as quick. You know, won't say that in a bad way, but they're still maintaining what they've got. And once DJ goes in, that's going to cycle to them being in the lead. If they can take this thing to the end, who knows what can happen.
I don't. DJ's not coming in. I don't know when he pitted, but he's pitted at some point. With us covering other things here, and I don't have any timing up to be able to tell me when he pitted last. DJ's not coming to pit road now.
Well, and if that's the case, Ryan Broderick will run him down for the end of this race. There's no way he can hold him off 25 laps. They're making up a half second or more. There's 25 left in this race. They're only 18 seconds behind him.
Yeah,
if they keep making that pace, yeah.
He's either pitted at some point where he thinks he can make it, or he's stayed out too long.
Yeah, true. You're right. And that's well. Now, let me backtrack on my statement there a minute. I say that, but here's what I also got to throw in there too in the mix: as Ryan and Mike run longer, at some point their tires will even off, and if they don't make up massive time now, then at some point they won't make up any to him, and they won't make enough up to catch him in the end, and time will just basically run out. So yeah, you can be right on what you're saying. Is at this point it might not be beneficial for him to come in and just stay out, but then again, does he have the fuel to go? He's got to go over 50 laps in fuel.
Yeah, well, and you can do that in these. You can make that happen. So it's just you know, we're just two people, so it's hard for us to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
My iPad actually won't turn on for some reason. Normally I've got a timing thing up here that tells me when people have last pitted, so I don't know. So we're kind of going off of, you know, two different strategies. But obviously with this many laps left in the race, or this short amount, it would not be beneficial for him to go to pit road, because quite honestly he wouldn't run him down. So obviously he's staying out and just trying to see if he can stay up front here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have when they actually pitted, but I do know that he's pitted 3 times as opposed to Brian Hartford's 5 and Bradley Wilson's 4, and Ryan Broderick has pitted 8 times in this race as opposed to Mike T. Bruno's 4. So they have definitely on a different. If he goes this race,
there's a caution.
Wow, that's going to mess it all up. Never mind, folks. Everything we just talked about in the last 15, 20 laps done.
sorry we wasted your time.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Robbie Buckner.
Wow, number 90. We had a good conversation going on. Nah, I hate to see that and anybody come out here and wreck. Let's go back on the replay and see what happened to the 90 there. But still, hey, we still talk as we watch it. Yeah, Robbie just lost it coming out of the turn there. Went through the grass, mowing it a little bit. Caution comes out. Hate to see that on his end. Now, as we say that, now we were sitting here talking about DJ. The thing about it is you know, Ryan and him is still back there in 7th spot.
Oh, you pit that.
You pit, that's what I say. They're coming in the pits along with DJ. He's coming in the pits. So
yeah.
It still could be very well his race. Does he have a fast enough truck? Because Ryan and Mike T. Bruno now has to battle with those cars. And, wow. DJ comes in, but Brian Hartford and them don't. Yeah, here comes Brian. Bradley. Okay, so they're all coming in. Ryan brought it. Some trucks stayed out, though.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
you know, some strategy calls. Everybody does things differently into these races. You never know what's going to happen. Cautions, breed cautions, especially towards the end of a race. But you know, there's no question about it. These guys, DJ had to pit, obviously, and we knew that Bruno, Broderick, all these guys, Eric Tesh, a lot of these guys that were fast and up front, they're going to get tires and try to get up there.
Yeah, and we're seeing that's going to put Ryan Broderick way back there. Mike T. Bruno, we saw several other trucks get in front of them. DJ obviously won the race off pit road with them. He's going to start there in 3rd. Excuse me, Bradley P. Wilson's up front. Aiden Young's right there. And why is DJ dropping? Did he get a speeding penalty? Wow, if he did, that would be terrible. Because he came out in front of me out, and he
did. He
wow.
got speeding.
Ouch. Well, I hate that. The man was on a good roll there, because I know he beat them all out. So, well, it happens. I mean, folks, that's an iRacing thing, and obviously that's in real ones also. So, wow.
Now you hate to see that for him, man. Did a great job here. I mean, hey, the night's not over.
No, it's not
over with, but it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult on him. But you know, I guess once a horse is dead, I'll just beat the living crap out of it. We've seen him go from the back to the front before.
We have
in less laps than this than what we've got left.
Yeah,
honestly.
Hopefully he will. The problem is, here's the problem with that. He can't serve that until it goes green, so he will go at lap down.
Yeah, we might catch a caution.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'll give you credit there, but it's an unfortunate penalty at this time of the race.
Well, it depends on what type of speed penalty is. He may just have to go to the end of the line.
To answer your question, there is racing lines on the pit road. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little secret here that I've learned in racing with iRacing is you can speed up on pit, but you better be slowed back down before you catch that line. So I have went 3 and 4 miles over the speed limit, and then if you know how to do it, you can drop it right back down right in time. So that's definitely how you do it. Oh no, he's going to have to serve a black flag. If he got a speeding on pit road black flag, he should have to have a black flag, shouldn't he?
Not, I'll be honest with you. I'm not 100%. I think it depends on how bad the speed penalty is. A lot of times, I mean, I've sped on pit road and just went to the end of the line.
Okay, well, all right, then, hey, if he does, great. Might work out well for him because he's sitting 16th. Like you said, be able to drive it to the front. He's got plenty of time. Not sure, so don't know, man. I obviously don't know what's up. So, like I say, I've went over speed limit on pit road, but if you can catch it right, hey, it's just like real racing. Those guys know what them timing things are. They come in, really. I mean, these dudes know how to masters of their art, so to speak. Well, it puts Bradley Wilson up front here with Aiden Young. They're going to take the gamble here as we come out of turn number 4 and try to get this thing going. Absolutely, get the last 20 laps in here. Going to be a shootout here. 18 to go this time. Here we go. This pace car's in. Bradley Wilson puts the hammer down. Now he's going to hope he can get far enough ahead of these guys to storm out front. I tell you what, John, something we ain't done all race long. You know what time it is?
It's time for the speed gap.
All right, folks, we went from the speed cam to the caution cam here on that one as we were watching that one a little bit live there. So let's go back here and see what happened. As I always like to say, man, if that thing don't get your blood pumping, man, your hair jumping up, down, or something, man, happening, better get a doctor's appointment right there. Excitement. Bradley P. Wilson lost it, tapped Mike Bruno a little bit, up into the wall. Ouch. And then just to add to the end of that exciting thing right there, still, if you don't like excitement, hey, we got golf here on the OSR Network. You can watch it, or, as old John T. Wimbish would say,
what, get over it? I don't know.
wow, the man done forgot what he said. Must be a boring individual. Wow.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, why too?
That's usually when you go through your spiel of all that other stuff, though. I'm like,
well,
you done cut that out now. You don't talk about hair bouncing on your arm or something.
yeah, man, I still bouncing on your arm now. I said that last night. I was talking about something about it. I said, look, man, this race about to make your hair bounce up down the arm. And if it is...
I was too busy getting wrecked last night. I didn't know what was going
on. Well, if it does, then you've got a major condition. I'd like to see it on YouTube, by the way, before you go to the doctor. And that would be kind of awesome.
Well, Bruno did a good job, man. Even though he got sideways, he saved it. He's going to be in fourth position here. But now that did hurt his tires. That's going to matter there. But what we saw with Brad Wilson there was just up on that high side there. I don't think he had the tires to hold it there and be at that speed there on the high side there. And you got the 19 behind him and just came out from under him. And that can happen coming off a 4 right there. The truck is real light through there and just doesn't want to handle very well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on that one. So, tires could have played a factor there. Aiden Young's been able to do a masterful job up front. But Ryan Broderick, that Tide Ride machine's been able to pull up front all night long. He's got Spence Thompson right there on his back deck lid. Aiden Young right there trying to bring that thing to the front. Mike T. Bruno's going to try to bounce back. Look at old Blake Fillon right there in 5th. And Matthew Wasbach in 6th place. That man's had an eventful night. Slowly but surely been able to move up front. And no, Dre, I didn't need a cookie. I didn't bring no cookies in here with me tonight. Sorry. Kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm the only one talking tonight was doing anything.
It's terrible. Yeah, I didn't even bring no chips or nothing. I just kind of ran in here and just went, there we go.
Hey, I enjoy doing these races, but if you're going to make me sit here for a couple hours, I can't leave my Copenhagen alone.
Yeah, well, that's me too. I got to have me a drink. And usually, yes, I have a chip or something here beside of me. I'll chew on it every once in a while, but, you know.
I drop a whole lot of names and companies. Man, I ought to get paid for this stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? It is what it is.
I want to make money like these other guys that
you already make money.
Name off all these sponsors and everything.
Man, wow.
Well, I'll just walk around town with like a whole shirt with sponsors all over it.
Yeah, if you figure a way to do that, let me know because we'll throw to the whole race, man, naming off everybody.
People are like, what are you doing today? Well, I'm just walking around. I'm going to head to the store. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Copenhagen, Budweiser, for the opportunity to be able to go to the store and buy some things.
Yeah, that's right. What are you doing? I'm going to Food Line Walmart to get me a Coke with a Pepsi product up front with some Frank hot dogs and
yeah. Enjoying this nice summer day thanks to Allegra. My allergies aren't killing me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, time to be professional. We got to shoot. I'll get out in a minute. Shootout. Shootout.
Well, and we got some awesome trucks up front for a shootout. Ryan Broderick, Spence Thompson, Aiden Young, Mike T. Bruno and company up there about to do business here because when they cross that line, it's going to be 8 laps to go. 2 scenarios, folks. Lap 150 ends it. Lap 146, caution comes out at that point. That ends it. So got to keep that in mind being up front here. Ryan Broderick knows that.
I'm going to have to get a great restart here, which you got one last time, but got 2 guys up there that are really good at it, and Spence Thompson and Bruno. And Aiden Young up there, man, he's had a great night tonight. Matt Walzenbach's up there, another one with a great night, man, just battling it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ryan Broderick's bringing them around here, turn 4, along with that pace car out front, about to take a hard left turn on pit road here, and they'll send these monster trucks a storming. They'll pound through the gears here, hit every one of them on time, and the man puts the hammer down. So here we go, going to be lap 142. Ryan Broderick's got the Tide machine rolling through turn number 1 as they head off into there. Spence Thompson's got his hands full with Aiden Young. Mike T. Bruno says, I got to go and go in a hurry. You guys can battle later.
And look at Broderick, went up to the high side, shot all the way down to the bottom, trying to get that momentum right there. That's a smart move right there, to take that momentum away from the guys behind him and basically giving it to himself coming down the hill like that. And now you got Bruno battling with Aiden Young here on the inside and just a storm of trucks behind him.
Yes, they do. You got David Richards on the move right there. He is moving up in the 5th spot. He's on the inside of Matthew Wazenbach. That's for 4th. Aiden Young still hanging on the 2nd spot. He's holding off Mike T. Bruno with the hard charging number 19 machine. Here comes Davis Richards, though. He is trying to move it up to the front. He is looking to try to clear that man in the 4th spot, Matthew Wazenbach. In the meantime, Ryan Broderick is setting sail up front, loving every minute of these guys battling it out.
Davis gets into the Matt Wazenbach.
Yes, he does. Hard lick, caution out. Not going to end it yet, folks. But let's go back on that one. Boy, these guys were starting to mix it up. Business definitely picking up front here, as that was a shot in the wall. Get that man a BC, because he's definitely going to need it. As
another name drop.
Absolutely. Drop the mic.
And that does not end the race. We will see a green flag.
Yes, we will. Well, here we go, watching the replay here, just to kind of the viewers see what happened. Davis Richards there on the inside. They just look like some net code involved right there when they got together, because that's kind of weird the way they hit. Very light, but boy, I tell you what, a hard lick. Punched that nose in on that truck of the 29 of Matthew Wazenbach. Makes him look like an evil-looking mad bulldog out there. Now, he used this fast fix we just saw. Well, that sets the stage again here. Ryan Broderick up front, Aiden Young, Mike Bruno, Davis Richards still in the mix, Blake Phelan, and Spence Thompson. So pick your poison, folks. Which one you want to pick?
And the caution really worked out for Davis Richards. He gets his spot back. He had to back out, and the caution had come out. He was in that position when the caution came out, but he had to slow up, and then he gets a little contact, I believe it was with the 71, got put up into the wall. So he lost even more positions, but because the caution comes out, it freezes your spot, and so he gets to go back into 4th place.
Yeah, the problem is he's got damage on that right front side. Let's see if it hurts him. But, hey, Aiden's been able to hold on with the damage on the front side of his truck. We'll just have to see. Closing laps here now. Obviously, when they go back to green flag racing, forget about it. Caution comes out then, it does end it. So that's the scenario you look at. And Ryan Broderick knows that. Obviously, all the boys behind him know it. So we'll have to see how this thing. We'll talk about DJ Hargrove. He's been able to move back up to 13 spots. He's been able to pick up a few positions. Just not going to have enough time to get back up here, I believe. Too much racing going on back there in the backside. Ryan Broderick, though, needs a start of his life here on this restart.
And DJ actually on that restart, the way I'm viewing it was a wide view. The restart really got backed up, and it kind of started in front of him. Looked like maybe some trucks started going, and he went super hard, almost slammed the truck in front of him. Very wisely moved to the bottom to the apron there to not have somebody run into him and basically show guys, hey, we're not going. And it wound up costing him some spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good sportsmanship there on his end. Obviously, wants to have a good finish other than a tore-up truck here. But I got a feeling it's not over with. Cautions breed cautions, as we say. And these guys, man, well, there's no friends, no teammates. And patience is out the side window at this point, because these guys, it's go time. It's run what you brung here now. There's no holding back, if the word that we could use.
Those are 2 words.
All right, well, a couple words that we could use. How's that?
Yeah. I'll tell you, honestly, this is so beneficial for Ryan Broderick in that 34, though. All he's got to do is the leaders take off, and we've seen the leaders tonight just be able to just shoot out there, get a great lead here. The next flag is going to end the race, obviously, so Bruno's going to have to get a great restart and just be all over the bumper of that 34.
Yeah, and it's usually leader's advantage on any of these style races. when they're up there because they're able to pace the field and go when they need. Me personally, as soon as that pace car duck, I'd put the hammer to the floor. I'd be out there in the radiator, man, trying to push that thing like a Flintstone on Mad Crack or something. I'd be pedaling that thing all around this track at Kentucky Speedway here tonight.
Oh, and I accidentally pushed the button and laughed like that cartoon dog. I don't know his name.
The guy on the racing cartoon. I know which one you're talking. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the racing cartoon.
And I hit the button and I was laughing like an idiot.
You'll be all right. That would be a picture, though, man. Flintstone on Mad Crack.
Oh, my
that'd
goodness.
be an instant nitrous oxide boost there, I guess, folks, back in the Stone Age. Well, as you can tell, me and John up here is having fun.
You get racing, you get lame comedy. We got a little bit of everything for you. It's not all good, but we got it.
Hey, if you come out of here enjoying it, that's all that matters. Hey, if you like it, hit a like, hit a sub. If you don't like it, well, whatever. You know, don't like it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, we don't really care.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. But hey, you came out and saw it. Either way, there you go, enjoying it. But here we go. We're getting set here to go back green flag racing. Ryan Broderick, like we just said, he has that leader's advantage here. He is the man that's going to be out front and control this one. Like I said, once that pace car go, I'd dump the hammer and take off, and I'd be gone, set and sail, trying to get as far away as I can from those guys back there, because he knows they're going to be trying to run the wheel lug nuts off them things and go. So here we go. Pace cars coming out of turn number 4. Going to take that hard left turn on pit road as it spikes down on pit road. Here we go. Ryan Broderick and company up front. He is pacing. He goes, sets them up good. Got a truck spinning. It looks like DJ Hargrove got spun in the back there as they head off in a turn number 1. They are 4 and 3 wide. Mike T. Bruno gets cleared of Aiden Young behind him. I just don't think he's got enough time to run that man down in the front. We're going to have to see, though, because the battle is right back here with Blake Falone and company.
Yeah, Blake got a big run right there on Davis Richard. Now the 71 right on him right here. Looks like he's going to get on the bumper right there, but not be able to clear him. Davis got that low, and the 11 moves up a track a little bit, and these guys are 3 and 4 wide way in the back.
Yes, they are 3 wide. He thought better of it. Brian got clipped down there. That 11's trying to stay up there in the 4th spot right now. So Ryan Broderick's checking out of this one. Aiden Young is sitting there in the 4th. But look at the battle going on. Davis Richards, Blake Falone right there with Brian Hartford. Them guys, when they're mixing it up, 2 wide, 3 wide in the back.
That Dave Levine right here. Nowhere to go, has to check up a little bit. Davis get a run on the outside. The 114 of Bees is up there on the outside lane. Oh, and the 71 comes up and doors the 51.
Yeah, he does. Just looks like that truck got a little pushy up there, man. Got into the side door. White flag in the air for this time by. Trucks are spinning in the back there. Looks like the 114 and company. Actually, it's the 71's around. We got a huge wreck here. Not going to bring our caution out, but we're watching it live here as a slew of trucks are getting slammed. This time they're on the back stretch. Ryan Broderick has to only go one more time around here. Let's go back up here to our leader right fast because he's coming out of turn. He's going to lead it to the line this time by Mike T. Bruno. Just not enough time to run him down. Tonight's winner, that man, Ryan Broderick in the 34. Aiden Young survives in 3rd. Folks, we were watching that huge pile up back there on the back stretch.
Just a lot of trucks taken out there. You had the 7 and the 23 got into it, spinning down to the apron there. Then the 51 gets into the 71.
Yes, it was. It was just a pile up like we were talking earlier, not a self-cleaning track. Problem was, as soon as that truck spun, nowhere to go. Everybody just kept coming up in there, piling in there. Awesome race. And back there in the back, those guys were trying everything they could. But that man right there in the Tide Ride pulls it off here tonight. Ryan Broderick is able to win this one here at Kentucky Speedway for the Monday Night Thunder Truck Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. What a thrilling finish there. Mike T. Bruno tried everything to get it, couldn't get it done. Aiden Young pulling off a 3rd place victory. Know that cat's going to be happy to be able to hold on to that one. And actually, going to be the first time for old Hurricane Motorsports to be in the top 3 there, so they're definitely going to be happy with that one. And let's see if we can't start moving some people down here. Looking for Mike T. Bruno and company, and see him filing in TeamSpeak. Looking for Ryan Broderick.
I'm waiting on Redding. He said that the results are pending.
Well, it should be pending for the top 3.
Yeah. I wanted to make. I was watching what was going on back there. I knew you were going to cover what was up front there. So.
Well, actually, we were on what was going on back there. That's what I said. We was watching the big pileup happen, and then I flipped to the front and watched them come across the line up front there, just as they came across out of turn 4. But yeah, we watched that huge pileup going on back there. So I know that's what he's talking about. Is the huge wreck back there. But, you know, while we're waiting, hey, you can get a talk here with Aiden Young. He is the 3rd place man.
Hey, Aiden, this is John and Joe in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, buddy, you had a big battle out there tonight. Seemed like you and Matt Walzenbach couldn't get away from each other. Maybe you're running close to each other on purpose, but every time we turn around, y'all were right there battling back and forth, and you were able to work your way up front, man. Tell us about your race tonight, and a little bit there at the end. You think you had anything to get up there around Bruno, and Ryan Broderick was just on a rail, man.
Well, my race started off a little rough there at the beginning. I didn't really have the car that I wanted. It was not the setup that I usually run. That is stock, but I came out with, I thought I had something for him, but I just didn't get going on the last piece, time to sort of bummed me down. But
well, man, once again, you're just running up front. You're doing better and better every week. Seems like you. I mean, I already know. You know, Joe sings your praises all the time about how great you are and everything, and we know you're good. But you're getting better, man. With all the racing that you've been doing, you think that all the league racing that you do really pays off and helps you do things like you've done tonight?
I think it pays off because I learn to be more patient and learn new things every single week that I practice and everything. I think it pays off just like tonight. It's not usually my best track, but...
Well, we got to hear you say it, Aiden. New team name. What's your slogan?
I forgot it.
Wow, really? Oh. I'm telling Ryan.
I had to look at the rear bumper.
Oh, storming to the front, and you did that and came up 3rd, man. Congratulations on that. Oh.
All right, Aiden. Good job, buddy. Hey, you got anybody out there you want to thank, man?
Just wanted to thank TN Designs, Hurricane Motorsports, Ryan Daniels, everyone that's out here and that just comes out to watch.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on 3rd, man. It's a great job. Good run for you tonight. And we'll see you in the next one, buddy.
All right, well, happy young man there, and definitely sometimes, you know, not full of words, but we're still waiting for Mike T. Bruno and Ryan Broderick to come up here into the team speak here so we can get a word in with them. Obviously, our our winner and our 2nd place finishers there. And we'll give them a few one, but while we're waiting, let's go ahead and do the results order here. I'm going to do it as we got it. Unofficial, that's what we'll say as of right now. We do know that Ryan Broderick is the winner here tonight. Mike T. Bruno sitting 2nd. Aiden Young in 3rd. Blake Phelan sitting in 4th. Andrew Cornelli in 5th. Gordon Larson sitting 6th. David A. Levine 7th. Spence Thompson in 8th. And Davis Richards 9th. And Justin Richter round out the top 10.
Craig Lerman 11th, Walzenbach in 12th, Jason Alexander 13th, Terry Mason 14th, Cody West 15th, Ryan W. Daniels 16th, DJ Hargrove, bad luck for him at the end of the race there, both restarts, winds up 17th, Brad Wilson 18th, Jason Burgess 19th, and Matthew Skipper 20th.
And in 21st, Brian Hartford right there, Jared Beasley 22nd, Eric Tess sitting in 23rd, Robbie Buckner 24th, Jake Little 25th, Ronald White 26th, Chris Akers sitting in 27th, Tommy Haynes 28th, Billy Hargrove 29th, and Pacer Popham sitting in the 30th.
Happy, guys?
Hey, Mike Bruno. It was John and Joe in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
I got you, boys. How's it going?
Doing great, man. There's a good race out there. Big battles and all that, and big wrecks there at the end of the race. So tell us a little bit about your race, man, and did you have anything for Broderick up there?
And it was an awesome race. I mean, we had our fair share of yellows, but the few long runs we had were great to see. And Man, I don't know. Broderick just had the truck tonight. I felt like I might have had something for him on the long run. I didn't want to see that last yellow there, but other than that, great night. Glad I was able to finish at least top 3 and bring it home tonight.
Yeah, man, you had a little incident there. It looked like I forgot who you got into there. You went going down through the infield there, and I said, man, Brad Wilson. Brad Wilson lost on the outside there, and I was like, man, here's Bruno with some bad luck again, you know.
Yeah,
but you're able to save that thing, and it was a good thing the caution came out there and worked out for you.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I said. I said, oh, there goes another one, you know. And I thought the yellow was going to be on me for spinning sideways too much or something, but I just kind of lucked out there. I feel real bad for Bradley that happened, man. We were just racing real hard, got real tight, and still not sure what happened, if he got loose or if we made contact or what, but I wish that didn't happen either way.
Yeah, it looked like he just got loose. There's plenty of space there between you guys there, but so no harm on your end there, buddy, but good run for you tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, man. I want to thank my sponsor, SimSpec. They're awesome. They help me out with anything I need. All my teammates from MR Motorsports, Mike Redding, Dave Levine, Jason Burgess, Jason Alexander, Tyler Justice, all them guys, man. If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry. Yeah, just thank Bradley, Mike for putting on the league, and thank you guys as always.
All right, buddy. Man, it was our pleasure, man, watching your race as always, man. You did a great job. Second place, good points night for you, and we'll see you in the next one, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Joe. We'll hand it over to you, buddy. Get old Broderick up there. I know he's up there somewhere.
Oh, I see Mark Broderick up there.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Is that him? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't know. See, they fooling me, man, already. Well, let's bring him down here because he is our race winner here tonight. We know him by Ryan Broderick. Got Mark Broderick here in the team suite. Let's bring him up here. I know he's going to be a happy camper in that Tide ride. Ryan Broderick, Joe White in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Jeff.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, it was bad fast in that that Tide machine you had out there all night long. But tonight you pulled it off here under the lights of Kentucky Speedway for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. And the reason I didn't bring you down earlier is because you had Mark Broderick beside your name, and I didn't know it was the same person, so my apologies on that. But how does it feel to be able to bring this thing home here, and was you nervous on that last caution?
Yeah, I was a little nervous just because I think we had 4 there at the end and burned up my tires on the first 3, or the first one trying to get to the front, and then the second 2 trying to get ahead of everybody. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to have, and threw it in 3 and 4, and it didn't really stick. But I saw Bruno didn't really stick either, so I knew we were kind of on equal.
I got to ask the question. Me and John was talking about it, obviously, before the caution before. When you and Mike Bruno pitted, y'all were sitting on a lot older tires. You were coming through the field there trying to... DJ Hargrove was out there, and it looked like he was just basically going to stay out. And time would have just ran out if it went green the whole entire way. Did you see that, how we were seeing it? Because y'all were a little bit faster, but y'all would have been on like over 40-some lap tires. Could you have made it the whole way? Because you'd have had to go almost 50 laps on a set of tires.
Oh yeah, we could have made it. I pitted with, I think, 10 laps of fuel to spare if it went green. So I knew DJ and all them were going to have to pit no matter what. So I was just kind of biding my time, trying to keep Bruno behind me. I'm passing cars to the same. If a caution came out, it didn't far back in the field. Right.
Yeah, that's what me and John was talking about there, is we didn't know what DJ's plan was. He's staying out. Didn't know if he had to pit or what, or if he was just going to try to run it out to the end. Obviously, the caution coming out threw out everything that me and John was talking about, so that's usually racing right there. But, hey, you pulled off the victory tonight. You had a bad, fast machine. Got anybody out there you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammate, Davis Richards, and owner, Matt Hoover, and the whole RHM gang. So, and always the beautiful product, Tide. Yeah, it's a pretty good weekend. I'd get another win.
Absolutely, definitely pulled off the win here for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Congratulations again, Ryan Broderick, Mark Broderick. Pick whichever one, man, you want to call the man by. He goes from by both of them. Awesome right there, man. Again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, well, tell you what, John, that was a thrill ride of a race right there. We had a lot of good racing side by side, some cautions earlier on, long green flag run right there that obviously put in some fuel mileage into question, and then just a thriller at the end as always. So a little bit of everything in this race here at Kentucky. You got any final thoughts?
I think it was a great race. A lot of beating and banging action like that. We saw a lot of 3-4 wide racing. A lot of times guys made it work, man. So it was a great race, man. We know at the end of it, these things are going to happen. There's going to be some wrecks, especially here. As we said, it's just a tight track. But all in all, a great race, good show by these guys tonight.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, folks, check in tomorrow night. We got the Grand National Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. And boys got the Xfinity cars, going to pull them out there. So until then, tune in tomorrow night here at OSR Network, YouTube. And check us out on Facebook and online simracingnetwork.com. It's been a pleasure here with John T. Wimmis up in the booth with me. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks.